Hello, how are you? Just thought I'd catch up because I've been, as I said on one of my videos, that I would be off for a few days. I was offline completely for a few days. I didn't check messages or anything. Lots of stuff. I wasn't online at all. So I took a couple of days just completely off and totally tuned out. So now I'm back and I want to see how everyone's doing. With these last heavy energies and dark, dense energy that everyone was basically working through or transmuting. Wow, and people somehow still see how people are doing. I just get a gauge how the collectors are doing. So how you all doing out there? A lot of still, I know there are people still in tears every day and don't know what's wrong with them. But has anyone come through this already? Started to release a lot of stuff? How's your transmutation going? How much have you released? Are you feeling better already? Lighter? Your vision or your course changed? Quite curious to know. So let me know, anybody, please. Maybe you've got questions. I don't know. Some people are, wanting help or advice or questions. Shoot away. But we did transmute a lot of dark dense energy. Wow. It came in. And I did notice we got another shift. I don't know which night it was. It was when I took those few days off, and I noticed we got another surge, but not that dramatically, but it was another surge that came into the planet because I didn't sleep much. And I felt it. And I thought, oh, wow. My main concern was when it came in, I immediately thought, uh-oh, another volcano eruption or another, big earthquake. Because you knew that kind of surge, that energy. It's like an intuition or innate knowing. So I knew when I felt that energy coming, and I was like, oh dear, we're going to have another sort of volcanic eruption or big earthquake. Funny enough, and I did see, I think it was that Chinese's channel saying there was another volcano erupted high. You can ask whatever you want, whatever question you want. Doesn't have to be yes or no. You can ask whatever you want. If you want to just, if you're curious about something or, you're on this path or anything. I remember I'm an old bat, so life experience, I have plenty of it. Plenty of life experience besides, as we all are on this path now, and, tapped into the quantum or universe, or depending on your beliefs, source energy. So source energy is available. It's there. Some great wisdom comes from that, and questions, answers. Any questions? Come on, people. Or is life that great? It is wonderful, actually. Cruising, even the funny things when they happen, you understand why they're happening to you. You start to realize there's a purpose for everything. Sometimes we're focusing on them, we forget. We focus on negative things. I actually want to do a live shortly with someone about manifestation and synchronicities. There's one. I'm actually going to give you an example of when synchronicity really, when it's meant to be and it's brought for you, manifested, right? Say you asked for something 2 years ago, and you forget. Sometimes we do. We ask for something when we're in line and we're really in sync with it. So when you're in line with your heart, like this is really truly what you want and feel, it's an actual alignment with you and source, it comes. But sometimes we forget, because this could have been a year or so ago that you manifested, you asked for something and you really meant it and you really want it, And then you think, oh, what comes, it comes. You let it go. You leave it because now you've put it out there. And then it does come to you, like, let's say a year or so later. And you'll just know, I'll make a video. The synchronicities are so amazing. There's no effort. It smoothly flows, everything. And then you're like, wow, wow. Sometimes you forget. Yes. I'm not doing personal readings. So if you're asking about somebody who's going to be dating, I'm not going to answer for you. I don't. It's not something maybe in my cash, and it's not something I'm drawn to in this life. You know what I mean? I thought, oh my gosh. That's what I say. This is interesting. I've noticed this, and I've noticed it in my life. And see if it's coming up in your lives. It'd be fascinating to see what comes up in your reality lately. Thank you. That's so kind of you. See what comes up in your reality. What I'm discovering is, it's like I said to you, what I felt these energies were coming in is personal. We're all going to be personally changed. We're all going to be pushed this year now with this last surge to change maybe find our real purpose, find our real goal, change our job, life, whatever, something. This was about personal empowerment. I noticed this healing and purging that was going on is to anything that's holding you back. I found that. So whatever in your life, which was baggage, trauma, programming, whatever it is really going to be, I felt this was coming up and being pushed. Yeah, I just felt that. And I've got this desire now to really tap in. What do you really want? It's trying to feel out, because I've sometimes think, I want to do that. And I feel, okay, this is from the logic. You see, when the mind comes in, you think, okay, this is the best thing for me because it's going to do this and balance my life, and it's all the things that you want. So you're taking it from that perspective, like say job-wise, this would be the best job. But it's not really from your heart. You know what I mean? It's not, oh, wow, I really enjoy doing this, I want to do it. Or the journey, right, of doing it. You're not going to enjoy doing it. All of a sudden, you start you're not feeling happy. No, well, you've made this, you think, okay, this is a great idea, but it doesn't, rock your boat. And I'm like, okay. And I started doing something, and I'm thinking, I don't really like this. I'm not sure if I want to do this. So I felt this. Yeah. Yes. That's what I'm thinking. I think this is going to come up in our reality. There was a series I saw, but this is also, people are putting it out there. Remember what's coming out in the movies is also a lot of what they want you to manifest. So it's manipulation in all ways, because if you're taking anything from the outside and believing it, you manifest it. So the more people put their focus on whatever this person's maybe dream, a vision or idea was, you're manifesting somebody else's whatever. Maybe it's even purposely done. I saw there was a series that came out a while ago called The Messiah. It's very typical mainstream kind of, 3-letter agency, whatever. Yeah, no. I try not to watch anything that's going to be a negative influence on me anymore. What I'm finding I'm drawn to a lot because I'm tired of it, and we know we manifest. And if you keep listening to stuff, it's keeping the mind very busy, and then the mind starts drifting into the negative or the worries or the nonsense, and just pulling you off course, because then you're holding that frequency and vibration, so you're not in line with what you maybe want to do or where you're heading, your goal. So I'm listening to, at the moment, more of Abraham Hicks. It's so uplifting, the energy. Abraham Hicks, there's a lot of people that share her channels and clips of different talks. So I found a few on YouTube. They pop into my feed, like things will pop into your feed. You'll be guided too. So you'll be following this for a bit. And then you're like, no, okay, maybe not. And then other things, another video will just pop up, and you thought, that's interesting. Let me listen to that. And you'll find you enjoy that content. At the moment, I'm following Abraham Hicks. All about manifestation, the law of attraction. Oh, bloody right. So true. So I found that whole thing on the Messiah is very manipulated, you see. Because if you can push out somebody that people believe, or they say, this is the Messiah, it's like anything, you've got control. It's about control of the masses and their attention and their yeah. We shouldn't be looking to any other human, because we're all equal souls. There isn't another human that's, we're going to be careful of that trap. It's idolization of any kind, of pops, whatever, movie stars, whoever it is, doesn't matter. Yeah. So I'm trying not to be as distracted. So have you noticed that as well? Have you noticed you're going to be starting to really reflect, and you'll see something, because you won't feel in alignment. You're not going to feel super, oh my gosh, that just gets your heart going. Does that light your fire? Does it light up the enthusiasm and, oh my gosh, passion, excitement, joy in you? If it doesn't, maybe then it's not, you know what I mean? If it does, you're going to find that alignment. And, you can draw it to you. Yeah. So I'm trying not to... I'm kind of trying to decide what to do at the moment for myself. That's just me. Hi. Hello. I'm deciding what to do with myself. So mine is, what am I going to do? Yeah. I've done so many things in my past, career-wise or job-wise. Jobs are not really the future anyway. The whole idea of working with someone else is not the best idea. But it's lovely to work with people. So now you've got to start digging down we all individual fractals of source. Hi? We're all very individual, right? So, but we've all got, over the years and manifestations and lives you've led and whatever, this planet and other planets, you've got characteristics and traits. We're all unique. So we've all got unique passions, unique everything. We've got to start finding ours, and I'm very drawn to that at the moment. Like, okay, even in this life, what are my strengths? Start mining it. What is my passion? What are my strengths? What am I always drawn to? What do I enjoy? So think about, will you enjoy the journey of getting to wherever you want to go, right? If you've got a goal, say I want to be a manager, I want to whatever, who knows, open my own business, do this. Hi. So this is what I'm trying to tap into, because I know some things, absolutely. It's know thyself, that famous saying, right? It's very important to know thyself. So now you're trying to think, who am I as a fractal of source? What moves me? And then you kind of look at your life and you think, over the time, where there's a constant you can see. So there's some things you'll notice. That's just you. That's where you're drawn to. That's who you are. And if you're standing in your own shoes and your own, who you want to be, you've got to do something besides love, right? So doing something, okay? You can love. It's a resonance, a frequency. You hold that frequency, but now you decide you want to, say, start making your own cheeses as a business and sell cheeses. You might want jewelry. You might want to do a blog. You might want to, we all got different things, right? What are ours? What, you want to be a vet. Who knows? I mean, there's all kinds of things. But what is your passion? It's going to resonate. So I don't know. Mine have always, there's a couple of things I've always seen. There's definitely, I keep going there, just end up in those positions, because it's part of your innate, it's part of your character. Who you are as a being. You don't have to take all the shitty parts with you. You can refine those. That's the whole idea of this lovely journey. As we go up in frequency and consciousness, we're dropping all the shitty aspects of ourselves, like pride, not in a negative way, not in an arrogant way, where it comes to arrogance, things like that. So we don't have to drag those negative aspects with us. So have you guys, tell me, have you been feeling this lately? I'm curious to see, because I think this is very much individual transformation that's happening now. Besides the spiritual way, it's going to be very targeted, not to the collective, as more individual. So we might, and sometimes what you think this is, we might have an idea, right? Because I'm saying, I'm planning this whole thing. But if I'm not in alignment, I'm not going to be going there. We know that your soul is going to drag you where you think maybe is what's best for you. So what resonates with us? We must stop thinking what's best for us. So we make decisions like when we were taught financially, this you must do that because that's best for you, right? Not necessarily. That's what I'm saying. Because you can manifest a successful outcome. It can be best for you. It doesn't mean it's going to be, what you think on a 3D level is best for you. Yeah. I know there's it can be hectic to go through that. Yeah, just don't hang on to them. When those emotions or those thoughts come floating through, whatever caused those hurt in the past or whatever it is, as it floats through, just watch it float through and just say, that's interesting. Just notice, like you said, notice it, feel it, but let it go. Yeah, it's not. We've got to try and pinpoint. It's a difficult part with healing. Pinpoint what's the cause, the root cause of that. Wow. Take some digging. I've done lots of healing lately in the personal department. Wow, plenty. And my buttons are being pushed really much. Wow. So it's pushing, targets your deepest fears, on a personal level, I'm seeing this. Hang in there. Yeah, don't get stuck in the emotion and the feeling, Let it come through and just notice, okay, well, there we are, it came up. If it's coming into your reality, it's for a reason. It's because your soul's saying, right, it's now time, you're ready to release this and let it go. Forgive, forget, heal, whatever it is. Or there's a fear there. What's at the root of that fear? See? Sometimes it's actually an illusion. But you can be absolutely terrified of something and you'll find it's actually an illusion. So yeah, it's not really based on anything. It's actually a false fear. And if you face it, it'll just drop away. So what you were frightened of was the fear itself. I really did. I found I was terrified of the fear. The fear itself was what the fear was. It wasn't, there was anything behind the fear. It was like the yellow brick road. You pull back the curtain, and I mean, it was a serious fear in my life, massive fear. You have no idea. I mean, a real fear, because it came with so much trauma. It was attached to so much trauma from my past. And then that fear was brought up again, and I had a choice to like, oh my gosh, this is my biggest fear, and I'm being put in that position again. And when this happened to me, I thought, oh, this is interesting. I'm being tested to see if I'll respond differently. You see, when this fear, and I knew, I thought, okay, this fear is not coming up for a reason. So they're putting me through something again. They're trying to put me through the same circumstances, maybe to see if I'll react differently. This is what I thought, right? This is what your mind's doing on analyzing the thing. And then I sat in meditation to see. And what came up was, it was the fear. And when I let go of the fear, wow, it was like, oh my gosh, you've such a feeling of freedom and power. And it changed the entire dynamics. It was amazing. Yeah, not necessarily fleeting, but oh my gosh, yeah, you can really, when it's something that's been keeps repeating in your life, like mine, it was attached to a lot of trauma, and it keeps repeating in your life. So you just think, oh, so now I know, because I was on the journey. But before I'd gotten the journey, I'd be like, oh my gosh, here we go again, the same shit. Yeah. But this was so interesting because it was put there. It was amazing to be released from it, because then you're like, okay, why is this happening now? And then you decide to let go of the fear. Not fear it anymore. Like, oh, I'm just like not doing this shit anymore. Let go of it. And when you do, you realize that was the issue. Yes. Yeah. You got a chance to look at it from a higher perspective, you see, and not respond in the same way. Because like a trigger wall, you're going to immediately be triggered. Hi. Yes, it is a comfy jumper. It's actually my partner's. It's his jumper. Yeah, missing him. So I have his jumper on. Yep. Just makes me feel, I know, I had an amazing partner. It's doing an amazing amount of work in my life at the moment for me. Yeah. I love these. I've got lots of jumpers. I've always preferred men's jumpers. I don't know why anyway. I like them. They're much more practical and comfortable and whatever. I suppose it's part of my past. So guys, let me know what's going on with you, please. Questions, answers. Yes, he does. He likes clothes, actually. He likes clothes, which is, I don't mind, it's quite nice, unusual. He likes shopping, which most men don't, you see. But as I'm saying, we can all change, depending if it's will, if you want to be... Who knows, Yeah. Most people run out of, you mention the word shopping and they're gone in the opposite direction. He's probably more keen on it than me. I'm just like, whatever. Yeah. Yes, I've got some nice ones. Thank you. I like real wool, mohair or cashmere, things like that. I love it. Wow. But anything natural. Leather, natural things made with real things, not synthetic or fake. Anyway, we go totally off the subject here. So people, come on. There's enough of you out there. Questions, answers. What are you doing? How are you doing on your journey? Hi, Daniel. If it's on the same line, I'll let you in now. Hi.
Hi. Speak English?
Yes, I do. I presume you have a question.
India.
You from India?
Yes. You speak India?
No, I'm afraid I don't.
I'm sorry.
Okay.
It's okay?
Yeah.
Okay.
You don't understand anything we're saying?
No.
All right. So
Nothing.
okay,
Nothing.
then I don't want to be rude, but if I excuse myself, I want to carry on talking to the people. I thought you had a question, possibly you wanted. I'm happy to answer questions or chat, but if we can't, it's a bit pointless.
Yeah. Joke? Right. Pak.
Sorry.
No?
Hang on. I'm going to... Well, People do that, and it always baffles me. I mean, I'm happy to people to join me. I always say anyone can join my live and ask questions. Please, absolutely do. But I mean, they've got to be something that that's relatable to the conversation, or you're adding something to it, or you want to share your experience. Please, absolutely. And if you want to do a live, you can anyway do a live with me anytime you want. You just have to send me a message or ask me. Okay, now let's get back to where we were. We went totally sidetracked here. Totally. Yeah. I know my language skills, I would say, are not that great. I haven't for a while. I haven't needed to use other languages anymore. And you forget. If you don't practice, you forget. So I had a few. I was good at a couple of languages, but, basic. It was my work. Anyway, people, please, I'm waiting. I'm waiting to hear because I want to know how it's going on out there. Get an idea how many people have transmuted, have cleared have you done a bit of clearing? And have you sort of got a bit of a plateau at the moment? Or are you also feeling very driven to go within and to really feel, what do I want? Think about this way. This is what I did. If you're trying to find out what you want, right? Because a lot of people, it's easy. I've always had this, say, vision to be a doctor. When you're kids, there's a percentage of kids that always know what they want. They've got this passion, one-eyed thing, all right? But normally your parents talk you out of it when you're young. Oh, no, you probably can't, or this and that. Most people don't follow their true passion, right? Because someone will tell you, oh, you probably can't do it, or it's very difficult, or this and that, and then you give up because you think you're not going to. This is a very sad, but a reality, actually. But a lot of people just come into the planet and, they have no clue. They haven't, from a kid, this age, I've always wanted to be an astronaut, or I want to be a doctor. You just know what you want, not what parents tell you, what people, schools, give you oh my goodness me. I remember the most basic, same nonsense for about probably decades, where they come up with ideas, what you want to do. Oh, doctor, lawyer, the same nonsense. Bloody hell. So many people don't really know, because it's an incredible, we've got a planet, it's full of everything out there, and so many fantastic ideas. Oh, really? They're amazing. They're amazing for the mind, for the brain, lion's mane, yeah. They're used in lots of medicinal things, and they're incredible for the brain. Very, very good brain food. Yeah, they are. They're amazing. Go for it. Look into it. You can do it in a garage or any room where it's sealed and there's no infection and mold can get in. You can spray it. I met someone that actually was doing that, making good money. He was growing them, and he started in his garage. He was growing mushrooms in his garage and selling them to some supermarket or something. Hang on a second. What are my thoughts on severe anxiety attacks, out-of-the-body experiences from suffering PTSD? Yeah, absolutely. Because you can disassociate. You don't even realize you're disassociating. You don't even realize. You actually emotionally put a big distance between yourself and other people. Now, here's one thing for you, Claire. Most people don't know. So I'm saying most people don't know anything about me. Right? Not that it's irrelevant because I'm not that person anymore, but the person I was diagnosed with complex post-traumatic stress. And I used to get, radical PTSD. Flashbacks and things like that. I can tell you some of the stuff I've been through. And then I had an adverse reaction to the medication, which almost killed me, and sent me into the most horrendous. So yes, I know that I'm probably my expert on mental health or that conversation. I know a lot about PTSD, yeah. And I suffered from it immensely. A horrendous place to be, yeah. But this, as I say, if you're willing to face your fears and things, they come out through meditation. So, but I went through that whole dark, very, very dark, the black dog, the dark hole, then the dark night of the soul on the spiritual side. So you want to see what darkness manifested for me. It was frightening in other beings and forms. So yes, I understand that, and you can overcome it. And there's somebody else that's overcome it, doing Tai Chi and Qigong. It's because a lot of that trauma is held in the body. A lot of damage is done to the physical vessel. So yeah. Go to see a healer. Do a past life regression. Do a healing and clearing as well. All right. Sometimes it's karma. But we got to start forgiveness and letting go and start this if you can face it. Just if you can face that, you can face it, yeah. Because you must understand what you're seeing is not real. All right. Everything is, it's what you focus on is what you manifest. And you can heal. You can overcome anything. Then you've got to try and stay in that frequency. If you want a constant connection to source, you've got to try and maintain that frequency and vibration, right? And you've got to try and stay out of the mind. That's hard. It's work. So it's a process. So meditate every day. Higher conscious meditation. If you want, twice a day. At least half an hour in the morning or whatever. Do half an hour in the morning, half an hour in the evening then. You know what I mean? And state, I am always connected. Da, 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 da. If that's your focus and all you want, that's what you will get. All right, I am connected. You are. You can. Diet, all those kind of things. Exercise. Oh, fantastic, John. Well done. Yes, the medication can be very dangerous for some people. As in my case, it almost removed me off the planet and left extreme damage and harm. And some people who had the most horrendous side effects, it can worsen your situation by far. That's what I'm saying. If you read the indications, even on antibiotics, if you read the contraindications, it's highly dangerous. It can make you more inclined to commit suicide, actually. And it does to many, many people. It causes immense harm. But to prove that is very difficult, of course, because they say, oh, but you've got a mental illness, mental health, so it's probably the mental health, it's probably not the medication. And they don't monitor you for side effects. But the side effects are unbelievably dangerous. And some of them they call rare, they're not that rare, actually. A lot of it, anyway, let's not even go down that road. But that's a subject I'm well aware and are very suppressed. They suppress, yes. No one will, yeah. Too much money to be lost because billions will be lost. A lot of people are using it, yeah. Absolutely. Well, you can say that and you can say you don't. It's up to you. You see. Also, you've got to wean off any medicines like that. You've got to wean off the stuff very carefully, okay? You can't. If you just stop taking it, you're going to go in withdrawals because you're going to set... This thing has manipulated the brain. They're dangerous. They're very dangerous, actually. So you've got to wean off it very slowly. You've got to taper off those medications. All right, if you any of those medications, you must taper them off. Or you can have a real reaction to it. You're going to hit a bad one because then your brain is going to go... It's very dangerous. So taper off them very, very slowly. Do it over 3 months. Okay, so then you take one tablet, say, every second day or so. Then you take a half a tablet after a few weeks every second day. Then you take, a quarter tablet and so wean yourself off it. And there's actually... someone did a good protocol how to wean yourself off it. Yes, absolutely. Oh, it's amazing when you connect with source. Oh my gosh, you could heal anything. Because remember, even science shows that we are basically energy. Your body's made up with, there's not much besides energy, the atoms. So basically 99.999 something percent energy. That's it. That's all we are, actually. So if we're energy, what is consciousness and energy? Thoughts, frequencies and vibrations affect us. So all we have, all that our trauma is energy, stuck energy, right, that hasn't been processed. It's stuck in the vessel, in the wherever, meridians, chakras, and this is what causes like tumors and things like that, you see, or illness and things. It's energy. What are emotions? Energy in motion. And that's energy. It was too overwhelming for us. We couldn't let go. We hung on to whatever it was. And this is what it is, really. I actually did a talk about it. Talking about that, Claire, if you go to my YouTube channel, and I was brief about it. I didn't go into detail. I mean, I've been through the ringer like you don't want to know when it comes to that. You go to my YouTube channel, and I made a video talking about this from my perspective after being through all of that nonsense and coming out the other side alive, which is amazing. Just saying it did actually cause me to leave the planet. I had a near death, but no one was around myself. That was because of all of that, yeah. But I came back because I was on this journey and I wanted to stay. So go to my YouTube page and go and have a look. I've made a video about mental health. We need to look at it very differently. Not from the normal way we've been doing it. Yeah, well, it's us, you see. It's how we think. We don't understand. Abraham Hicks, go and follow Abraham Hicks, I'm telling you. So we understand that we are creating our problems. Actually, we are. So Abraham X is an incredible one to follow. Then you will understand. You won't think. You'll be very conscious. What we should be most conscious of is what we think. That is so important, to wake up and make sure you wake up in that mood. So the first thing you wake up is say, thank you, Source, for my abundance, for the wonderful day. Start your mood of a positive to keep your frequency high. Because if what we are is what we attract, right? So if you are on a low vibration, anger, fear, and things, you're going to resonate. That's what you're resonating at. Those are the people and experiences you're going to draw to you. So, of course, you're going to draw more fear, more trauma, more shit, more the same thing. Because all you're focusing on, all you're feeling. It's more feeling. If we start getting out of it, you'll start drawing more love, more peace, more joy, more freedom to you. You'll start feeling that, and the more you'll resonate more, and the more will come to you. And you will, that's it, problem. With trauma, everything to do with trauma, all those energies and emotions are very dark, dense. You see, so what you're doing is drawing more to you. And if we say, I am this, well, then you're going to be. You see. You did because it's an experience, you see. So that's what people don't realize. You as a soul are a hell of a lot on a higher level of consciousness than you are as a human, that you think, right? This is not you, this human. All right, you chose for a reason, so you had karma from a past life energies. So whatever you left the last life at, those energies came in with you, right? And so you've chosen, you've had to resonate. So your energy and frequency had to tie up with the families. For you to experience it or whatever you wanted to learn, get rid of your karma, overcome, transcend, you will be put into a family with the same frequency and vibration so you can experience that. Sometimes it's karma. You did wrong in the last life, so you're going to be the victim this one, or so-called victim, right? This is what the problem is. So we do that. And why? If it comes up in your life, it's giving the opportunity to forgive this time and not be the victim or go and blame and hate the person, because in the next time, you will be the perpetrator, they're the victim, and you're both going to be caught in this karmic cycle. Somebody comes in to do something, it gives you an opportunity to, if you didn't in the last life, to rise above it and forgive, ask for the highest perspective and let go. You can change it and your ancestry. Yeah, absolutely. You're here for a reason. Oh, absolutely. Yes. Absolutely. Just living is a reason. We've got nothing better to do. That's why. As a soul, or as going back to source, right? You have no body, no ears, no mouth, no tongue, no any of this sort of thing. So, and then you're just there, and you're in the state of constant bliss and just knowing all, right? But you can't experience and play. So it's like, think of this as a simulation, as a virtual reality game. We play as part of God. Not. That's all it is. So we are playing these different lives because we are eternal. There is no time, no end, no beginning to us, and that's a fact. I mean, you can go back to past lives. Wow, you can remember. It depends on your frequency and whatever. You can tap. You have been here from the beginning of time, before the planet Earth was so-called even here. So what the hell are you going to do with all this time? You see? Keep yourself busy. So you're experiencing everything, the good, the bad, so you know the difference. So we experience really bad to know really good. Now, if you haven't experienced absolute, let's take, for example, human relationship, love, right? If you haven't experienced the worst of the, betrayal and lack of trust and being cheated on and being hurt and being let down and, all the shit, right? When something really good comes along, how do you know? Wow, this is incredible. I'm so thankful for this. This is like amazing. You would never take that person for granted or anything for granted, because nothing is permanent. And when it's good, you're like, wow, thank you for these blessings. Thank you for this happiness. Thank you for my peace. See, the more we stay thankful, the more we're in that. It's a very high frequency. We bring more of that experience to us. But yeah, if you didn't, and I think a lot of philosophers and like poets have said this. It's incredible, yeah. But how do you know love if you've never experienced what love isn't? Okay, there we are. You need to experience what love isn't to know what it is, and also to know you, right? What are you like? My YouTube channel, there's a link to it on my link tree on my page. If you go to my TikTok page, just under the profile thing name, there's a link called Linktree. If you hit on the link tree on my YouTube button, there's a, looks like a video button. That will take you directly to YouTube. It's Multi-Dimensional World 2020 and beyond. Okay, because that's really when we all went multi-dimensional. So Multi-Dimensional World 2020 and beyond, that's when we took quite a steep incline. So most of the lives I upload when I'm finished. I upload them to YouTube, and I only opened the YouTube channel purely for TikTok, actually. Because lives, when I did lives, a lot of people missed them. Because not everyone is on the same part of the world, on the same time zone, or whatever it is. And I just randomly go on, at any time or whatever. So most people don't get my lives. Very few. So I did this so people want to, get the information or stuff I've channeled. A lot of the stuff I've channeled from Source hasn't happened yet. It was like a message for humanity to what's coming. Some of it, it's normally a year earlier sometimes, but of what's coming, yeah. So there's channeled messages for humanity. Oh, lots of things anyway. Some are put up there. Anyway, you're welcome. You're so welcome. So yeah, people often think when they see you, because you may be in a good space and you're channeling and you've been through, they don't realize where you've come through, you see. Okay, sometimes you come through hell itself to get to where you are. And when you've finished all that healing, letting go and forgiveness, it's so worth it. Wow, it is so amazing. It's an amazing thing to let go. Thank you. Yeah, and I can say I've been there to the extent when it actually killed me. But I didn't. I came back. It was a near-death kind of thing. It was like what I did was jump the karmic timeline. That was a timeline. But I moved up to a higher timeline. So I actually, didn't leave. Yes, absolutely, yeah. No, you're a player, but you're the one, remember, you're the observer. Yeah, I did jump it. Otherwise, I wouldn't have been here, trust me. Actually, here's something I want to tell you, people, because my partner doesn't watch me. He's not, this is interesting. Very tuned in, but not at all in the spiritual path whatsoever. So we're different in that aspect. He has no interest, doesn't believe in any of this sort of, doesn't want to anyway. It's just his thing. Doesn't want to. So on this aspect, I do my thing, and he's, doing his own whatever. We don't resonate on what I'm doing and the higher consciousness or anything that's unseen, not whatsoever. He just loves life, and that's he gets on with life, and he's not interested in anything, besides that, before, after, any nonsense. Okay, but talking about karmic thing, well, that medication and what I went through did a huge amount of harm to my heart. Damaged my heart. Well, it was one of the things was heart failure. Actually, there was a last severe reaction I hadn't had yet, at the time when I stopped taking it. It was really bad. Wow. So, but it did, and this is what happened to me in my bed. I had my heart stopped, heart attack or failure. I wouldn't know whichever one I experienced. So let me tell you, it wasn't fun. I left my body, but then I came back. All right. So, but I know, a lot of damage was done, also with the amount of trauma I experienced in this lifetime. So it did a lot of damage to the body. It was held in the energy in the body. So it was a lot of work for me to heal the body, to unblock, to release. Wow, anyway, I'm constantly doing work anyway. It doesn't end. I'm constantly still healing and clearing and stuff. But the other day, this is for you, yeah, karma, yeah, I know. Yeah, absolutely. And you bring it to yourself. We manifestors, right? So we know you're thinking whatever. Anyway, you get in that timeline, wow, and you're just constantly stuck in this victim, whatever. Who knows? You draw it to you. Anyway, energy, resonance, because you're holding that trauma, that victimhood, that whole thing. And if you're going to be, so you're drawing predators to you. You see, often people say, oh, why do I attract these people? Well, there we are. Frequency. Everything is energy, frequency, and resonance. Well, there we are. And was I holding a really bad one? And then that trauma, all kinds of nonsense, right? Anyway, we went out the other day. We were sitting, I can't remember now, 2 days or 3 days ago. We went past a pub. We went for a walk. We went past this pub. That'll stop in there and have a drink. So we were sitting in this pub chatting. It was warm, nice, because it was cold outside. And we were just having a chat and just, two of us talking nonsense and just catching up and whatever. And next minute I had really sharp pains, and I thought, oh God, no, please, because I know from that level, why I left the planet, and many psychic friends of mine that are tapped in saw that I had seen. They said it was my future. I saw. This was a timeline I was meant to be on. This is how I was meant to go. I was going to die, leave the planet. So basically I saw my own death, right? So yeah, I know, crazy. So it could be still the future. I've got to go somehow anyway, for heaven's sake, people. We're all going to leave this planet. So don't get too attached to it. Let's put my phone on. Don't get too attached to the body, because you're going to lose it, if you like it or not, right? Somewhere or another, we all lose our body. We're all going to die, whether it's old age, young, not. That's something we've chosen. Oh, hang on, I'm going to charge this thing. Or it's karma, right? I just want to put this on quickly. So anyway, we're sitting there, and he sort of knows that, I had this issue, not too much, because he's not really interested in this type of thing, that I did, die and kind of come back. And I think I did tell him it was my heart. Anyway, he says my heart's fine. Anyway, we're sitting in the pub. Oh, shit. And I'm sitting funny enough, directly under a CCTV camera. And all of a sudden, I got this sharp pain in my chest. Wow. I mean, there was serious pain. I took my breath away. I got this pain in my chest, and I'm thinking, not now, because it would be devastating for him. And I saw his face. I mean, he was sitting on the other side of the table. And I thought, please don't let me do this, Source. I'm not going to have a heart attack in a bloody pub. It will devastate him. He was terrified and shocked. I mean, now he's thinking, oh my gosh, I'm going to lose her, and she's about to croak on me. But that is, we're not young anymore. So that is a fact of reality. You don't know how long your partner is going to be around, or you, when you get to my age. It's just one of those things. People all around you are leaving the planet. And I had another one, and it was literally, and I wasn't sure. I thought, God, it was really sharp pain, and I thought, oh dear, because I kind of experienced that before, when I left. So I thought, oh shit, here it is. You never know when it's going to come. I don't ask. I don't want to know. So I never intentionally asked, okay, when am I going to go? When am I going to die? Because otherwise you're waiting for that day, and you'd believe it too. I believe we can also change. We can change. We can heal. Many of my friends have done healing on my heart, and I've done healing on the heart, and So, in my thing, I died in my bed, which was useful. So when this happened in the pub, I was thinking, oh, no, I'm not dying in a pub. I'm not having a heart attack I don't even drink. But it was a bit, anyway, who knows. Twice I had two very sharp, sitting in this pub, I had this massive sharp pain going through, and it took my breath away. And then another one, just basically your heart, I was thinking, and I saw his face, and I'm like, it's fine. So you don't want to upset or worry the person, because dying is no problem. You've been there and done it, and it's amazing. But the person, you don't want to do that to them. It traumatizes your partner. They love you. They don't want to lose you. And not like, oh shit, they feel absolutely frightened and hopeless. Like, oh gosh, no. Anyway, we keep that quiet now. We don't mention that. I'm like, I am not. And I looked up and I said, no, I am not. Not in a pub. Not happening. No, not going to any hospital. You must be out of your mind. The last place you're going to catch me. Absolutely not. No. It's my time. It's my time. You should know that. We all know that. And that's one of those things. I have already, jumped one timeline. I'm enjoying every day. I'm living every day as it comes. And when it's my time, because, you get only so much you can do in this life and in this physical vessel. You know what I mean? Absolutely not a freaking chance I'm going to any hospital. That's the last place I want to die in the first place anyway. I die in my bed. I'm very happy. When I do, I do. And we have, thank you. It's seriously not lovely when it's nothing wrong leaving your body. I described that. It's amazing. It's freaking awesome going back to source and everything. Oh, it's amazing when you realize, okay, I'm still alive. That's the body, and that thing is not good. It's not alive, or it's not looking wonderful. Nothing wrong with the people. Don't stress about it. It's lovely. No, we carried on. I was fine. It was twice it happened. I had two very sharp pains, big pains, and then it just stopped, went away, and I just carried on, I said to them, no, not happening. We're not doing this now, not in a pub. Remember, you also have a consciousness and power as source, and your belief is very powerful. So there we are. I'm not worried. as I said, and I'm enjoying myself because I really think of this now as this extra year or so as a blessing. I've got this time that I didn't expect to be here. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, it always is wonderful. Life is exactly, heaven's sake. Your soul doesn't, it's always for the best. Everything happens for a reason. It's all for and you have power, people. You are a powerful being. You're able to heal. You're able to, if your soul really wants to, and if it's your calling to go, that's it. But sometimes when the soul really knows, so whatever. You've all left the planet, and we're all going to. And so people are so frightened of dying. We're all going to die. No one is leaving here in this body that you're in or alive. What you call alive. You just don't die. You change costumes. That's all. Because this one gets to a point, especially with our current environment and toxins and chemicals, where it's just, you can't really enjoy it anymore because now it's getting a bit old, frail. Your memory maybe goes. I don't want to do that. Who wants to end up being senile or end up being in pain or being bedridden? Now, if you go through a lot of people that live, some of them are lucky. Some of them live to in their 90s. A lot of people live, especially here, to their 90s, right? And they are not really happy people. Some are okay. Some just go to sleep and die. Some are really, it's not a nice process. If you want to learn what it's doing, go and work as a carer for a short bit, just to get an idea what these people go through. They're waiting to die. Hell no. You'd rather go out like that, That's a choice, you see. Then suffer. Nobody wants to suffer slowly or have pain, any of that nonsense. Yeah, Source is amazing. When you go, you came here. But remember, you came here for a reason. So you don't focus on leaving. You focus on living. That's what I was shown. You focus on living, people. You're here to live. Not to try and get away from it. Because you're not going to anyway. You're just going to make yourself unpleasant. So your time on this planet is to live. Enjoy it. And make the most of it, okay? Absolutely make the most of it. And that's what I was shown. When you realize, and then I thought, oh shit, okay. I thought they were going to show me because I knew it was like, time to go. I said I was told. So I thought I had very little time left. I thought I had a month or two. They were giving me a warning because I knew it was going to happen. At the beginning, I thought, okay, my friend said, yep, you were shown clearly. She asked her guides and she's a reader. You were shown, your own death. And I was like, okay, whatever, And if I'm going to leave, so I thought I had 2 or 3 months left. But what I was shown, when you realize, and especially talking to people that are dying, right, that have got illnesses and cancer, they'll tell you what you focus on is, oh my gosh, you start appreciating life, being alive. What does being alive mean to you? Oh my gosh, having an ice cream, getting up, you're enthusiastic about being alive. This is what most people have lost, your enthusiasm for being alive. We need to get that back. Put some good music on, dance, have fun. Go and make love, until the most passionate love you can. Go and eat a bloody ice cream. Laugh till tears come down out your face. Watch the sunrise. Watch the sunset. But we don't. We spend our time worrying about the future or the past. Living in one of the two. So we're never in the moment. We're not happy. We don't just trust Source and you're going to be guided. Life is going to happen. And just go with the flow and love every freaking moment of it. You're very welcome. You're so welcome. We really got to get back to that. We must stop fretting and stop planning because synchronicities happen. I'm going to make a video about that. I'm going to share one for you and you'll know. When I describe it, you'll realize, oh, okay. All you got to do is manifest it. Put it out there. Let it go and know it's going to be yours. Hold that frequency and belief and thing and it will bloody come to you. And when it does, like I'll explain to you, you'll know without a doubt. You'll know without a doubt because it is so smooth. You'll be drawn. It won't be like hinted. You will be like, you need to go and you'll be like, Those synchronicities will come and you'll be pulled into that and you'll be like, oh my gosh, fantastic. Thank you. You are so welcome. I can only share mine. My experience in this life has been enough. A lot of it not good, people. So I can talk from real suffering, fear, trauma, well, all kinds of, and I've been there. I had massive meltdown and panic attacks, PTSD, flashback, wow, where you actually can't even think. You can't retain any information. You have a complete meltdown. And people are talking to you, no matter what they're saying, they can tell you, right, go to the end of the street, turn right. By the time you get to the end of the street, you can't remember what they said. You cannot retain information. You are your fight or flight mode. You're in such a, wow, it's a horrible experience to do. And I know many people that have been through that, or veterans, will know exactly what I'm talking about. When that thing hits you, it doesn't matter what people come and say. When you're in that mode, and that it's in a horrendous place to be, because you're stuck in that state of absolute, that the rest of your brain switched down completely. In fear and terror, horrendous, man. So yeah, I can speak from all of those kind of experiences. I've been through some, but then also I chose, why now? Because I have that compassion, I have empathy, I have understanding. I can talk from experience and how to overcome it. And not even knowing that you're in that state of being until you start moving out of it and you realize, oh, wow. You see? And all the trials and tribulations and problems you have with it and trying to get help. Oh, my goodness. I tried all that nonsense, yeah. And being there and whatever, yeah. Not fun. But let me tell you, and as most people do when their life is, when they know they've got very little time on earth left, or anyone dying, will tell you, look, go and ask anything. What they don't, it's nothing they don't think, oh, my beautiful car, or my $1 million in the bank, or none of that. It's got nothing to do with material things. Absolutely nothing to do with that. It's, oh my gosh, you realize that I am not going to see another sunset. Man, you go outside and you enjoy being outside. It's like, oh wow, the trees walking, the little birds, every little bird, the bird singing. You're like, thank you, beautiful, thank you. They see the squirrel, you stop. That's why you hear people. Well, that'll take weeks. I'll tell you about my synchronicity, what I manifested, a manifestation, a few of them. But I'm going to do that as well with a video with somebody else, purely on manifestation. The synchronicities, oh, you'll absolutely know. And I've tried it in a few ways. So I can say now we're going to do one she's an expert on manifestation, right? Well, I think she knows exactly what she's talking about. Very clever, very good. But that's all the theory. Now try doing it. So now I've done it and it's worked and it hasn't worked in something. So you can kind of say, okay, well, I did that. And that's why it didn't work. And Abraham Hicks is very good at explaining that. You see, we're not hang on to something. It's like, oh, that's mine, and you keep focusing on, I'm going to get it. It's like you being a parrot. That isn't manifestation. Because then I'm going to get it. It's mine, I know it's mine. But in the back of the mind, fear stops creeping up. What if I don't? Or what? Whoa, then you've lost the plot. Then you're not in coherence with that, yeah. We're not supposed to hang on to it because then we're not letting things flow. We're forming resistance from fear of it not happening and all kinds of things. And trying to force it to happen. Yeah, well, I'll do one on that. And the synchronicities are hilarious. When you tune in, oh hell. It can be really funny. And you realize, oh, holy. And be careful what you ask for, as I'm saying. Sometimes you will get things, if you're not in tune with yourself, that's why I say, they will come to you because your soul is putting you that experience. You might not have asked for it, but you're sure going to get it. Because you haven't learned to forgive, you haven't let go, or you're still sending out that frequency of being a victim. You're going to draw crap into your life. Or what you sometimes think is for your highest and greatest good. Like I think, oh, this is the way I'm going to do. This is my best, whatever, future, whatever it is. Not necessarily, you see. Because maybe on a soul level, that's what I'm saying. We've got to tap in and drop into our heart, meditate. What do I really want? It's not about want, it's about the feeling of what, okay. Say you want to manifest, let's just say, I'm trying to think, something. Let's say a content creator, like this TikTok thing, right? Now you think, oh, I want to make TikTok page and whatever you want to do with it. Now, when you've got an outcome to achieve something, let's say it's only a financial goal, right? You're focusing on it, you only did it because you want to make money or something or become celebrity. Some people got this airhead because they want to experience what it's like. Everyone, they don't realize there's good and bad because that's not from a higher level of consciousness. They're looking at, that's what I'm saying. It depends on your intent. Okay? You've got to think, you've got to be able to see it through. So now what will you feel? So what we think about is I'm manifesting that because I'm looking for the 1 million followers and how many bucks. So that's really not a good idea because people don't realize what comes along with it. What is the feeling? Hang on. Oh, I don't know if this thing is charging or not. Let me see. Should be. Let me just check, people. Hang on. I don't know if this thing is charging or not. Let me see. Should be. Let me just check, people. Hang on a second. My phone is charging, but it's the battery's completely flat. I don't know why. So I hope it doesn't shut off. If it shuts off, I don't really want to go and open my iPad and start again. If it does, that's one of those things. I'll do another live again. But while we're in the flow, here's something that came to me, right? Now, this is the best thing for you to do. If you want to find out what you want, if you're unsure of what you want, right? Because there's so many options. What should I do? You haven't found that absolute something that's lit you up. Sit down. And what I did, this was about a year or so ago, when I was showing my guides, what do I want? I was really asking, okay, I was told, I've got to focus, decide what I want, and I can have it, right? So like anyone can. You've got to decide, and we've got to stick to it, because what most humans do, we want this, and then we sort of go on that, and we're on this tangent, and we're all over the show. So the source, God or universe, is like, well, what the hell do they want? They're here, then they're there, then they're this, and they're not sure. We've got to be like absolutely sure what we want. Hold that intent and think, and there we are, we can have it. So this is what I was told, right? So you're sitting down and you're thinking now you've been told, right? They want to know what the hell you want. So I'm sitting, oh, okay. And now think about the lottery. Think this is a good way for you to do it, right? If you're unsure. Think about, if I won the lottery, what the hell am I going to do? You have now, because it's what most people don't think. They think from a limited perspective. There's no limit. So your guides or source are saying you can have whatever you freaking want. Decide what you want. And you can have it. And this is for everybody. The same with us. We just got to get into that resonance. And so Abraham Hicks is a very good one for you, to explaining how to really manifest it. It's not with the mind. It's energy, frequency. So I had to really sit and I thought, okay, now what do I really want? And this is tricky. So I'm saying to you, you've won the lotto. You can have anything you want. That makes you think differently, you see. Because then you'll take it from, now you can choose your best dream. Most people say, okay, what do I want? And you're going to aim for something here because you think, I just want to be the boss or a manager or my business to be well. Or because you don't think you can have everything and anything. I'm not good enough. Oh, I probably won't. Or I won't win. Whatever nonsense, right? So pretend you have a choice. Anything. And this is what you've been asked anyway. You should be thinking like that. What do I bloody want? I've now got the lotto and I can do anything in the world, have anything in the world. What do I want? There we are. Maybe it's a relationship. Maybe it's just having a partner. And, and who knows, being a housewife. That is enough. I'm not joking, but that is enough. Being there for your husband or children, whatever, for someone. That might be in this life. It might be something you want to experience. Because we've all come here. We've had many lives. Believe me, you've played that. Some people don't want children at all because in last life they had 10 or 15 bloody kids. They don't want. So this life you're like, I am not getting involved. So maybe, and you want to come here to be a leader this time. I mean, who knows? But that's what I say. You have something. And you are a certain character. Really sit down, try and do a lot of that focus. Drop into your heart. What do you want? Think about it. If you have to write down, make a column, right? Things you want, maybe whatever. Start trying to play with it, right? A list of you don't want, all things, or priorities, or whatever it is. Start doing that, people, and you'll see a massive difference. Because you can see, first of all, it's been proven, there we are. For your reincarnation, why do I think it's real? First of all, I think it's Oxford University has proven it. I think it's Stanford and Oxford did like thousands, research on it, right? Reincarnation. And they have actually been able to prove it. Where they have 10 or 15,000 cases, and they've studied many. People are claiming they remember or come back and whatever else. And they have children especially, have been absolutely without equivalent doubt. There's no way that child would know. They have been able to prove it. So it's been proven. Reincarnation has been proven scientifically, actually. All right. People have actually come back and said they were murdered and proven who shot them. And I was a child. I was born here. My parents, everything. So that's true. Secondly, when you're like me, and a lot of us, hundreds of thousands of us, have woken up and tapped in. Our lives and past lives start coming back to you. So if you want to know about past life regression, you're asking, wow. My suggestion to you, Nadine, is to go and have a past life regression done yourself. Your soul is going to show you who you were in a past life, and then you're not going to think someone else is making up stories. You are doing it. You are seeing it for yourself. You are experiencing your own past lives. Now, we do it when we sit in meditation as well. We get shown past lives, future past lives. You can drop into anything. How do I do that? Nadine, go onto the internet and type in QHHT practitioners. They can be anywhere in the world, which is Dolores Cannon, Quantum Hypnosis Therapy Session. What they do is they put you in a deep hypnotic state where your mind is quiet, and they tap in your soul. Your real soul comes forward. And your soul shows maybe you need healing. You don't know what your soul is going to take you on your own journey. It might show you a good past life, a bad one, healing, something you need to know about. So you go through this, and then at the end of it, anything that's not shouldn't be there is going to be healed and cleared. Yeah, QHHT practitioner. You can go up and read, research them, read up about them, look at them, how many people they've done, references, this and that. Dolores Cannon's got a website as well. And you can do it remotely. People do it now. You have Skype or Zoom or anything. As long as they can hear you, and they must be able to hear you very well because you're under deep hypnosis. And you've got to be able to hear them. So you can get earphones, headphones, tap your computer up, set it up, something next to you with a video so they can see you. And while you're under hypnosis, they can hear. And then they record it because you won't remember all of it. And what happens is when you wake up, you've paid for the session, that they'll send you the recording of the whole session. So you remember everything. Now, depends if you're clairvoyant, claircognitive. Let me just tell him I'm sorry. Right, can you hear me now? Sorry about that. I just had to send him a message. Of course, then TikTok noticed that there was no face there. So they think you're a robot next minute because your face has vanished. Because the minute I go to a text message, I don't know, obviously you change the screen. Okay, you're heading sorry, no problem. So that thing didn't pick me up. So sorry, guys. So I just sent him a message as he's going to be worried why I cut him off and I don't answer the phone. I should actually warn people before I go on a live so they don't try and phone me. But, you never, it can be a complete random, old friend that could phone me out of the blue. So, yeah. Yeah. So go and do that, Nadine. You'll have an awesome experience and you will learn a bit. But if you start doing this, it's not for everybody, this meditation, depending on what you do and what you focus on. And that is proven as well, what we focus on, right? So we do absolutely create our own reality. So that they say this is a holographic universe you're thinking, right? Because it's proven what you focus on, it will change. So if now, whatever you look at, everything is non-physical, right? Just energy. All of a sudden, your consciousness, you put your attention on something, you are creating it. It will appear in your physical realm. And it does explain something why we all have different life experiences. You see, and we've got to be careful of our thoughts. What we focus on is very important. Be careful of what we focus on because you don't want to draw that into your life if it's an unpleasant experience, and what you believe and what you put your energy on and things, what you manifest. You're so welcome. Most people don't realize that reincarnation has been proved by science. I mean, most scientists are very skeptical of this nonsense. They're absolutely skeptical of anything spiritual that was unseen because you couldn't prove it, you see. But when you've got thousands of children being born very young and telling their parents, this is where I lived, you're not my family, I was called this, I lived there and everything. And there's no ways in hell that child could know, or they can prove this, they can check it out. They really investigate it and things like that. And they prove it, and everything. The child knows everything about their past life. And this has happened so many times. So yes, it's been really researched. Yeah, you're welcome. So there, yeah. Anyway, I completely forgot what I was going on about. Sorry, because with the phone call and everything else and different conversations and questions about manifestation, yeah. So there let me go back to that one. All of you, if you're not sure, right, if you're thinking about changing your life, sit down in a mindful state or meditative state and think and go into your heart. Like, close your eyes and as though you'd like, and I intend to actually drop into your heart and ask from real intent. Okay, close my eyes like a prayer. What do I really want? And now sit and feel. And when you decide, when you come across that thing, whether it's whatever you're looking for, you will know, because if you think, oh, I'd like that, and whatever you think of, that thought, that you can imagine, right? Say I'm saying now I want to, say I drop into my heart right now, I'm thinking, okay, what do I want? And I visualize a farm for, say, rescue horses, right? So this is one of the things, I see myself with this, farm, and it's all rescue horses. And when I think with that thought, and I just feel absolute happiness. And like, wow, that is, I would be over the moon, then that's it. You've hit something. Now that is what you can manifest. But if you do not feel that, you're not in alignment with your true self or your soul or your actual, you're not in resonance with it. It won't happen. And that's what a lot of us don't realize. We have to be in resonance with that. So drop into that thing. And when you think about what do I really want, and when you come up with that thing and you feel, it makes you feel so happy. That thought is like, oh my God, that is just what I want. You'll know you're on the right track, okay? And then you will start vision. And they did. They showed me many visions. I was shown many visions. I could choose, right? Once I decided what the hell I wanted, because I didn't leave the planet anymore, because now, I wasn't going to be, whatever I was going to, on that timeline I would have died, so I wouldn't have to worry. But now I'm not dead, you see. This is a problem. Well, not a problem, but this is where I'm at. I'm not dead. So then I was dead. I'd lived that life, and I was meant to have left the planet. Now I'm not dead. So now I'm like, holy shit, what am I going to do? Because now I'm a whole different person, and I've got a whole, let's say, an extra 20 or so, who knows how many years, I don't know, maybe 1, 2, who knows, 5 months yesterday, whatever, that you've got left on this planet that you didn't expect. So now you can make a whole new life. So now I've got to decide, what do I want to do, enjoy the rest of my time left on the planet? You see? Oh, you're welcome. See, so this is what I've got to, because, I was thinking, okay, well, now what the hell do I want? Because now I'm not going to be dying. I had to choose. And then I made up my mind. It's something I've always wanted. So I made up my mind, okay, this is what I want. And I really felt it. I felt so freaking happy. I mean, that I knew would make me happy. So it's something like you always wanted, right? So I really knew that. And then they started showing me stuff, and I was like, okay. So I got all these things. They were literally, you could pick. It was like a menu. I'm not joking, people. Then my guides or the angels were actually giving me a menu, and I was like shown this scenario, and I was like, okay, yeah, yes, oh yeah, okay, fine. And then I was shown another one. And then I was like, okay, maybe I didn't like that. And then I was shown another one. So like literally I was picking. I was like, okay, I don't like that part. And then 2 days later, they'd give you another version. And I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, that one's fine. And eventually I just thought, oh, you know what? I don't know. I know they know best, right? So they know what I want, but all the nitty-gritty details. Now this is being a human. So now you want to nitpick. Okay, it must look like this and must be like that. And now I was trying to decide on all the incy-bincy little stupid details. Now as a human, from the mind, you don't know what's best for you. Trust me. I couldn't have imagined, better. Leave it up to them. They know what you want, right? Well, you put it out there. I want to be this. It will be better than you can even imagine. So I was shown all these different scenarios, and I had to pick one. And eventually I was like, oh, I don't know. Because how did I know that one was the best one? That one wasn't. You see? And then I just left it. I just knew it was going to happen. And I left it up to them. I said, right, you pick, the best. You choose for me, because I know it was going to be. And I got it. And I was like blown away. It's better than I could have imagined. Absolutely. I couldn't have actually imagined it. I probably wouldn't have got it right. You see, it's awesome. So now I'm kind of here still. I got a bit of a fright 2 days ago that I thought maybe I wasn't, but anyway, I'm still here. That's what I'm saying. I'm always like, hell, just enjoy every moment. What am I going to do now? You see, I don't think I'll be at that age where I can just say do nothing. I want to do something. So it's like now you're almost 60 and you want to start a career or a new career, right? Think of it as a career. In a way, it's not really, not like the old, like we used to think a job and all that nonsense. But I mean, secondly, a lot of people won't want to hire you at my age, in the 3D world, because you're like almost 60. Who the hell wants to give you a job when you're about to hit retirement in their idea? You've got to start a whole new career, a whole new life. Basically, no one's going to say, oh, come work for me, at 60 and start a whole new career. Have you got experience in that? No, or whatever. You see? So lots of life experience here, absolutely. But what do you want to do? So anything, I don't know, maybe I'm going to make cheeses. I'm just saying, there's all kinds of things you can do. So now I'm very motivated to basically, like a career job. Not a job like you would say a job. I've done many things. I've done so many different weird jobs in my life. Wow. Even that, I've got a broad, diverse experience. And you learn, if you put your mind to it, people, you can do anything. You don't have to have a degree for it, a certificate. You can learn bloody anything. And especially when you're in a higher level of consciousness and channeling source. Higher intelligence. Bye, Jen. So yeah, that's where I'm kind of at. Because then you think of, okay, income. How do you want to make money, right? Because you got to pay bills in 3D level. We're still on the bill paying, right? So now you got to make an income, because I'm not dead. So this is now brought up an unexpected hiccup. How am I going to pay my bills? You know what I mean? You got to keep alive. Or while you're still alive, right? You got to eat. You got to pay bills. So now you're thinking, okay, holy shit, I'm basically almost 60. What the heck am I going to do now? You know what I mean? You don't exactly want to go back into the job market, because we know, as I know when I was in it, wow, over 45, it becomes extremely difficult. Most of my friends in their 50s, especially in a higher management level, once they lost their job, they just couldn't find. So many of my friends, I try to help them, in their 50s, when they lost their job, say as a director, all these kind of things. Oh, no, thanks. I turned that one down many times. Thanks, Nadine. I had some good offers. I turned them down because... Can I give you some advice there? You never marry for money, right? And you'll find very few rich people very unhappy. Why? Because people do that. Remember one thing, you're not going to be going to bed with his Ferrari or his plane. And his Ferrari and plane are not going to be hugging you and keeping you company and making you happy. Right? So that man, you can be so unhappy in a marriage. You can be more lonely with someone than you can ever be on your own. So no, you don't do that. you don't do that. That's not a good idea, because then you feel like you're selling yourself, or you're prostituting, or you're selling out, or you are. Oh no, my goodness! You don't want someone in your life for that kind of reason. Oh, no. And you want your independence. Another thing, you're going to feel insecure. As women do a lot of that. You're going to feel insecure because now you're dependent on that person. You're giving your power away because you're putting all your dependency on a person. Right? And everything changed. And that person can turn around tomorrow and say bye. And then what happens to you? Oh, no. It's the most... Luckily, I had an intelligent mother. My mother taught me that when I was very young. Very young. Because some millionaire or multi-millionaire fancied her and wanted to marry her when we were kids. And we were like, oh, yeah, because we loved going to his place. I mean, who bloody wouldn't as a kid? So when she turned him down, we were like, are you mad? Why, Mommy, marry him? We wanted my mother to marry him so badly because, I mean, we just wanted the fun to go there and play and have all that play, As a kid, all you could see was the grounds and all the, the nice things, the horse as well, that whole thing. Have whatever you wanted. It was like, So my mom put us and gave us a good perspective from a very young age. She explained why. And I was like, ew. And I took that aboard, the great words of wisdom. So no, you don't do things like that. Absolutely not. And that person, believe me, will know. Unless they, happy to be, maybe they don't want love. Maybe some people are happy to have a showgirl, they want a model. But there's always a younger version, remember? No, never. It's using someone as well. No, not a good idea. People don't do that. You can manifest what you want. Go and listen to Abraham Hicks. But I'm saying we've got to decide what we're going to manifest. If you want to manifest something, you've got to be in frequency. It's got to be in alignment with you as a being, a soul. What do you really want? The problem comes in when we're not in alignment. When we start doing something and we just don't feel that, we don't like it. It doesn't feel right. I'm not enjoying it anymore. I'm not happy. It's not going to work. Wow. It means you're out of alignment, okay? With source, with the creator, with your source, with you, your essence, So it's finding that resonance. Yeah. All right. And that's what I say. Drop into your heart and think about it. What do you actually want? Feel it. Don't think, feel. And when that idea pops in, because that's your soul, the idea pops into your mind when you clear it, just be clear and think. Feeling. Think about feeling. Not thought. Don't let the mind think. It's like, don't think it. When you're trying to think about what you want, don't use the analytical mind. When you're sitting there, like, going through things, maybe I could be a doctor. That's like the teachers do. Parrot. Don't be a parrot. Get the mind to be quiet. Sit down, drop into your heart like a prayer. Okay? You switch off and just think, what do I really want? And now be quieten the mind and feel. Because when that thought comes in from source or from your higher self, it's going to be a random thought will pop in your mind, but that feeling will resonate, and then you're going to be, wow. Those ideas will be put into your mind by your higher self. Do you understand? And I had one today, random ideas came out of bloody nowhere. Because I was thinking, okay, you're tapping into what are your skills, right? As a being, me as a fractal, in this life, I know many. There are some that I always seem to be ending up there. See, I seem to naturally drawn or gravitate to that, right? And then some of the ideas popped into my mind today, but I also like being with people. I love working with people. It doesn't have to be on a physical level, but I do love working with people, majorly interacting with people, helping people. That's always been something of me. So I've always, done a couple of... It's bringing people together, and I've seen in other lives I've done that, being a negotiator, peace ambassador for the galactics. No joke. That's a life I had. I think before this earth was up. But I was a peace ambassador. And I'm very good at bringing people together, collaborating, organizing, many things, different things. So just naturally in my, obviously. So yeah, we will see. So I'm busy with, and some other very interesting practical things popped into my mind today. I thought that's a bloody nice idea. A lot of work, but a big project. It's not something I haven't done before. So an idea popped in my mind today to, I don't know if anyone's ever done it, but to do something. A lot of work will go into it, but it will be an amazing thing to do. And then that keeps going, it'll grow, and it could be a very, it's aligned with the new earth. So it'll be aligned with the higher consciousness, the way we want humanity is going, and we'd like to see on the higher timeline, where we'd like to, it's bringing people together in a higher timeline, in collaboration, in all those things, peace, new earth. So it's in line with that. It's aligned with my skills and my strengths in this, anyway, in this being, in this life. Yeah, to an extent, because it's energy, right? So everything affects you, energy. So when you're born, there's certain alignments and planetary and energies. Everything is energy. That's all it is. So there are a few good ones, people, that talk about this, and you'll see it play out in the reality even now, because everything's frequency and energy. We are affected. A planet houses. The planet is affected by other planets and the movements, like the moon. The moon affects our tides, factually. That's just, we know that, right? High tide, low tide, it affects on the moon. So why would you think you're not affected by planetary? If it affects an entire ocean, right, it's energy, the moon affects people's behavior, and that's also been proven. Wow, people's behavior in certain, you can ask people in security, they'll tell you, certain times of the year or month, or big trouble. There's news at full moon or new moon or whatever, there's always kind of problems. So we know we are affected by these things. So absolutely. So it makes sense when you're born, You are born under certain energies, frequencies, also numerology, things like that. Yeah. Everything has a resonance, even numbers, your name, your date of birth. Right. Energies, because numbers have energy. Everything has frequency and energy. So yeah, they play a role in it. There's one or two good astrologists that bring up these things, talk about this. I've shared their, yes, exactly. Everything's energy. Everything, yeah. We're all part of it, remember. We're all one. We're all connected. We're all connected. We're all part of source of everything that is. All that is, right, is source. Everything around you think is nothing. There's no nothing here. There's energy, frequency. You just can't see it. There's dimensions around you, things around you just don't see. What your physical eyes perceive is that much of a fraction of the reality, actually. You're just not seeing everything. And we're all part of everything. So we will feel and connect with everything. We just forgot that. Oh, you're welcome. So I do share on my TikTok channel. What I do is if I come across good videos that are helpful now, I share them. So if you subscribe to my TikTok, my YouTube, if you subscribe to YouTube, there's a section there where you can see about the page, YouTube. You can see about the page, whatever the person is and whatever about them. Then you got home, and then you got videos, all the videos I've made. And then you got, I think it says community. So like I'll share maybe a picture, or I share. So what I often do is I share other videos, plenty of videos I come across, like say Abraham Hicks, Cryon, whatever, anything in this line. So I listen to a good one that I think will help somebody. I share it on my YouTube page as well as my Facebook page. So a lot of my YouTube things you'll see I've shared videos which if you're paying attention and listen to them, you'll see are relevant to now. And you will see they're talking about the astrology and the planetary alignments that we're going through, the energies we're going through as far as planetary. So you'll know what shit's coming down the line. You see, so you know it's going to affect. And now we're going through a time this planet affects finance. So you know we're going to see interesting developments in our financial sector, or earthquakes or tsunamis or floods or whatever. And you will see. So I've shared two people. They're very good. Two women that do very good work in this. And talk about, this moon, what it's, the energies, all that kind of stuff. So if you go, it's one thing, I'm not going to spout I know much about at all. It's just, I do know that actually absolutely works, but I am not one of those people that are, so I have no advice on that. Don't ask me. I'm not an expert, but they seem to be very clued up and very tapped in. So I share their videos on my YouTube and on my Facebook page. And they brought out one about the new moon about this year. And then they can also, if you go to them, I think you can find out about yours, how it affects yours. I don't really go too much into that, how it affects on a personal level. So I don't go, look, I'm a Virgo and it's going to affect me like this. I follow basically the bigger picture. So the planetary alignments, because that's what you're tapping into now. I don't do as I say, the tarot cards and things. I look at it, how it affects Earth, humanity. That's how I've been guided, and that's what I channel, source, and that's what comes through me is what is going to happen to the collective. What's the highest time? What's the greatest good for humanity? Where's humanity headed? What's going to happen? How it's going to affect us on the planet? And that also shows you a lot, because they say, okay, these planets are coming in, so we're going to see this. This means a lot of resistance or fires or all that kind of stuff. What each planet, the energies and the things they align with, fire, earth, water, things like that. And you'll see. Taps in. It was very metaphorical and it was very manipulated, because remember, Lot was left off out of that. Because that was manipulated, I think, in the 4th century. And written long after he left, he wasn't here anymore. And the Roman Empire did a lot of, anyway, which is currently the Roman Catholic Church, same thing, to keep control. That's it. Do you? Oh, you're right. No, well, I don't, but I'm glad you do. My accent, I lost my original accent, so I don't even know what I sound like. I think I picked up a bit of everybody's, a bit of everything in the last how many years. But my accent changed a lot, If you listened to me when I was 26, you wouldn't, totally different. Even the voice was much higher, much, much better spoken there. No, I don't have as yeah, apparently I have now, but anyway. Yeah. I don't identify with, I say, countries as such. This whole idea of borders only benefited a few people, so they could charge taxes and passports from both sides. So this crown's making money on this side, and that empire's making money on that side. It's all about money. The only reason why we have borders, and they changed in the old days when they had wars. Okay, I'm going to call. We didn't even have half these countries. They create countries as it suits them. Put a border up, call it a country, put a flag. Now they can just charge you passports and visas and taxes and nonsense. It's absolute rubbish. It's commercial. The only reason why we have, and then they say, "Oh, you're not a patriot." They're pushing patriotism on this thing is because it benefits them, and the same maybe five or so many people run the whole world anyway. So you know how much money they're making. Oh, yeah, this is England. Oh, that's America. So we can charge you, and we're going to pay tax, and it's just money, and it goes back to the same people anyway. Normally, that are running these countries anyway. What you think is a country. So I don't identify with that. I don't identify with a country and all this, an identity and a religion, that bad. And this is where most of our wars came from. We identified with religion. Most of our wars were religious. We have killed in the name, so-called, of religion, and I mean, we don't even use that name. You know how many people have been murdered under the church, under the guise of religion, over countries? Oh no. We're moving away from that into the new earth of unity and things, as we see. We're not seeing, division anymore. Yeah, borders are absolute rubbish. Exactly. It's a way of just making money. Think about it. Because every time you cross a border, every single one of these countries have got income tax and VAT and this and that. But then go look at your real people that are running them. They've got complete tax-free islands, No, there's no pay tax. This is a tax haven. This is a separate country. Oh, well. Look, City of London. The City of London might be in England, in London. It's like the Vatican. It's a complete separate country, independent, and that's where the world financial institutions and offshore accounts, is based in the City of London. It does not belong to London. It does not even belong to the Crown or England. The Queen has to ask permission to go there, and that's the financial capital of the world. But yet you've got to pay taxes and this and flags and borders and passports and nonsense and visas. I mean, absolute nonsense. And then they get you up in religion as well, to divide each other and cause hate and division. This is where we're leaving. That's a lower state of consciousness we're leaving. We're leaving that, thank goodness. Thank you. Because if you're going to just have a look at the wars and the things we fought over is religion or borders, go and analyze any of them. And then sometimes later on the truth comes out really why they were fought, which is not what you seem. We've got to stop being manipulated and identifying with that. Yeah, pretty much. It's just a use. You go and look at the background of that as well, yeah. Hey, yes, we've got to reflect on ourselves as people, as societies, and stop. It's very easy to get people together, to manipulate them, if you can get them to all focus on one thing, like say, okay, a leader or a politician. That's what people do then. Then you get their loyalty and you get them blindly following you, like the Pied Piper. So they use, a person, an idol, a president, a country, a flag, or religion. You see? You try and get them all together, or for the flag, or for this, or for free, whatever. Absolutely not. And off you go to kill someone in the name of religion, where it says, 10 commandments, thou shalt not kill. Wow, people. Were we sleeping or not? Yes, we were. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I've never heard anything more ridiculous. We're going to kill them where it says thou shalt not kill because they're not following religion. Well, did we miss something here? Possibly. Not good. Yeah, wow. Yeah. Anything. Just, we've got to stop it. And it won't stop until we start looking at ourselves, you see. Instead of, that's another thing we were all taught to, don't you forget about you. So People have got to. We've got to stop doing this. And which is what wars now. It's so easy to wake people up. Oh, that's the enemy. You see, it was China. It's Germany. It's someone else. I mean, you just have to mention a word. It's been so programmed into people. And then people will easily jump on the bandwagon. Oh my gosh, they are. Oh, they are dangerous. And there we are. Everyone can justify it. Now you have no problem, because if somebody calls you a communist, no one has a problem now. Now we can go to war. Because we can justify murdering millions of people because we don't want to end up being a communist. But meanwhile, it's got nothing to do with it. It's got to do with money or the control of the world's, internet or something else. But all they have to do is manipulate people into this avenue, or say that's evil, and everyone's going to be, oh, right, let's go and kill them. That's because they're evil. Look at the internet. It's going around the internet at the moment. People are already justifying these things, and about, look at the French Revolution. Go to the graveyards, and you were like, wow, okay. So we have to stop looking and listening to without and go within. Anyway, that's the root of all. Thank you. It's my partner. It's his sweater. Yeah, I love it. It smells like him. I love it. Yeah, absolutely. Love it, yeah. Thank you. It's a man's sweater anyway. I've got lots of them. And some of them I've shrunk. I'm very bad at things because I like real wool or things like that, genuine stuff. And then, you forget. Even though the machine says wool, don't trust it. Because I've got one that's like... And then it's, if they're real wool or any of those things, they shrink. Oh, thank you, Nadine, yeah. Yeah, there's one thing you should know coming from that country. Wow. The hate that's perpetrated. Take a look at your country's history. Talk about religion and belief and nonsense. We've been easy programmed, right? We were programmed throughout society like that. Absolutely. They've always justified it. The few, the crowns or whatever, still the same people in charge anyway, have always justified it. Now they've just got governments working for them to govern. The crown have governments governing their countries for them. But it's the same nonsense. All you got to do is say, oh my gosh, it's them. That's threatening maybe their wealth. And all of us are willing to go march off and give up our lives for these few people so they can still sit on their gold palaces. And it's just insanity. Now, your country is a great example of that. And the damage, once you've had a war, civil war, that damage, that hate, and that trauma last for a century. Because your children brought up with that hate of each other. And it takes generations to get that hate and trauma out of that society. Because they've been traumatized, which then they do to their children. And it is a vicious cycle. So there is not ever a solution. War has never been a solution to any problem. That shows a lack of intelligence or higher consciousness. Or even as a child, you figure that out. You're taught it as a school, right? To fight. Not to fight. Fighting is bad. You can't go and punch, say, the boy next door because he upsets you, right? In school. Because conflict, you must sort it out. You say you're sorry, right? You're taught as a child to talk things out, to work them out, to compromise, to be that. But when it comes to a country, no problem. Fuck, sorry, excuse the French, but fuck, let's complete. Fuck, we can go to war. All of a sudden, same with corporate, right? You're taught to sit around negotiating tables and sort out problems. As a child, I had that common sense to think, what is wrong with humanity? You start learning about World War I and World War II. You think, what's wrong with these people? No, and in the end of it, they all just give up and go back to normal, and all millions of people have died. For what? For what? A piece of land, or whatever you think it was. And the wars were never, that is never the root of that, not at all what you were told. It was for a few people. But what you were told, your government, whatever, fed you, was this is why, and they are terrorists, and we're going to do this, and we're going to do that, and da-da-da-da-da, that's why we're going to fight. And everybody was on board because you were taught, programmed, believed, fed this constantly by the media to justify it, because that's what they want. But then after the fact, you tell me, out of all the wars you've been to, how many of us know now they were completely bollocks, what you were told? When you do the disclosure, even go back to after the Second World War, the first election rigging happened in 1947. The first job the CIA ever took on in political interference, they're professional at it, was Italy. They convinced even the Catholic Church was on board with them. Isn't that interesting? Told everybody that the other side were communists. They didn't want them to vote for these people. They wanted them to join this whole, America thing, buy America stuff and build back after the war. It was the bankers. So they actually, the CIA went in there and because it was this, they called the communist. I think they were going to align with Russia, or whoever they were going to align with Italy. No joke. It was like same thing, neo, this capitalism nonsense. It was a bit more fair. And oh my gosh, no, they would have lost out. And they wanted Italy on board. And that's a fact. It's documented. CIA went in there, and even the church, you must see this. It's a fascinating documentary of videos. And how they manipulated and fed stories and publets out there about these people are communists, this and that, communism, and swung this entire thing. And it's never stopped. We've been doing this for centuries. They're always involved in election rigging in other countries, and all your intelligence agents on your own country. Absolutely. So there we are anyway. We're randomly going off topic completely, people. By what? For what? Start making greenhouses. Yeah, plant kiwi mangoes and grow in your house. Well, it depends, yeah. Depends on the country and your climate and wherever you are. Yeah, you can do all kinds of things, microgreens, and we're going to stop. Yeah, we if all of us did, which is interesting. You see, they talk about sustainable development. I found this very interesting. How come, I noticed a while ago, they were talking about organic and we're trying to save the planet, right? But you never saw a push for organic stuff. You never saw the government, talking about ancient seeds and about organic stuff, which we know have lasted. Our ancient grains and seeds have lasted millions of years, right? So we know they've lasted droughts, famine, floods, and all things like that. Not genetically modified, ancient seeds. Yet they've all been banked and stuck away under some, who knows, lock and key. And we've got genetically modified stuff now, which is not turning out to be what they tell you if you go and look into that research as well. No one's pushed organic. Interesting. They didn't tell us organic, trying to get us to have organic things and grow your own food. If we were all growing as much food as we could, and some countries it's banned. You're not allowed to grow your own fruit and vegetables on your property. Now that will tell you something. Really. But people didn't. They did, but people didn't get the message. We just carried on blindly because it didn't affect us. So we just ignored everything. Up till now, the world just carried on heading for a brick wall without any thought. But the brick wall was coming, and you could see the brick wall coming, but everyone just carried on straight for the brick wall. Yeah, I'm in the UK. I live here. I'm from the UK. No, my glasses aren't scratch resistant. No. I wouldn't have a clue. I'm sure I could, yes. If I've dropped them on the floor and stuff, absolutely I can scratch them. I'm sure. I do that often. I got lots of pairs, but then they're cheap, so you can buy lots of them, and then, you can break one and put the next pair on. No. But I spent a huge amount of time there. I lived there for quite a while as well. I know that country very well. Beautiful. Oh, I love that place. But sadly, as I say, you saw how the poison spread, the thoughts of... Hang on. My battery, it keeps saying my battery's low. Sorry, it keeps saying my battery's very low and it's going to turn off. My phone feels a bit hot, so I might get cut off, people. Because my phone it can't recharge. I think it's getting very warm for some reason. So it might just shut down. I might decide it's too hot or the battery's too flat or something. I don't know why it went so low so quickly. South Africa's a beautiful country, but it's been so... That's what I'm saying. It was manipulated. A few people gained to profit by starting that war back then. And it was completely not for the wrong reasons, but they pushed out communism. Everyone jumped on the bandwagon because it threatened a few people's great profits, massive profit. And that was it. And they started a war. Many countries were involved. And till this day, your country is suffering. And the hate and the division and is terrible. It's horrendous. The energy it used to pick up was so bad, and I noticed that it got worse and worse over the last, I don't know, maybe 10 years or so. It got really bad. You could see the hate and the division, and that was so unnecessary. But same thing, they're doing the same thing now. They call this thing on China. China's being blamed for everything. It's convenient. It's financial competition. They got too big and financially as well, and everything else. So it's very easy, you see. And the word of communism is so ingrained in humanity's thing. Our parents, everyone grew up with it. You mention it, and it straight away, it's like the magic word, invokes fear. And you will just, that's it. Oh no, there we are. Oh no, and that everyone's on the bandwagon with that, and then you can get away with it again. You see, it's not what people think, and there's no independent countries here as such, because the same people, the same money, the same banks, the same thing. Yeah, I don't like talking. It's a low energy nonsense. We as humanity are raising in consciousness. It doesn't matter what a few want to do. It comes down to us now. This is the most fundamental thing. It comes down to every single one of us, because you actually have the power. You haven't given it away. You believe if you believe something, everything's got power over you, then that's your own problem. You're giving your power away. But every decision you make, everything you buy, everything you support, everything you eat, is a choice. So you are choosing really and shaping the future you want. Are you supporting big tech? Are you supporting pharmaceutical? What are you supporting? If you want to see things better, then you will start maybe supporting homeopathic stuff. You're supporting organic food, natural things, real sustainable, not what you fed and whatever. And also maybe looking into the fact, because a lot of people can spout unsustainable, doesn't mean you are. Absolutely not. And then that will also be very it's another financial system. So we have another one here. Anyway. So we all have actually power, because you are the masses. So what you do, you drive the market. So whatever they're trying to sell you, if they're trying to sell you, say, genetically modified food, and you don't go for this, say, lab-grown meat or anything else, no one is buying it. Well, bingo, it's not going to go. They are not going to be producing billions of lab-grown meat or lab-created meat if nobody is going to be eating it, people. And be careful in your countries, because they don't label things well. Yes, the sun is, oh no, me too, wow. Well, these days with the geoengineering, you don't see much sun, isn't it? I know, amazing. I actually lived there, Claire. I actually lived in the Kruger National Park for a couple of months. That was quite awesome. Very peaceful, no crime, because you can't exactly get in there, can you? Gates closed. So I lived in the Kruger National Park, funny enough, for a couple of months. Awesome experience, wow. And the lions used to come past your house, you could hear them, wow. You wake up at the night, because instinctively you hear that lion roaring, you know your food. Yeah, it was amazing, wow. Yeah. Yeah, you had things. I mean, it was a bit dodgy walking places sometimes. But it was amazing, the noises at night, sleeping with the noises, you can hear the lions or hyenas or whatever it is, elephants. You want to come over down your road, you have to wait. Now they're eating your, hedge on your fence or something. Yeah. This is what people say. People are being fed nonsense. They control, they can do what they want. No, they can't. If they want to sell reality TV already, okay, we have to go. How many people are you going to buy reality headsets? That will determine how much it'll take over the future. How many people are going to buy lab-made human meat or from human cells? If they know it, you've got to look into the labeling and how things can be hidden and real organic and things like that. So we absolutely choose. Absolutely, we will steer the path. You can put up all the ideas you want, and I'm going to do this, but if they stop selling pharmaceuticals, and everyone starts going homeopathic and herbs and doing their own thing and all this foraging, trust me, they're going to start leaking money like a sieve, and they're going to start wanting to then get in there or manipulate or who knows, as I say. But as we raise in consciousness, those people with higher consciousness will be in places of power, influence, to do legislation and write it. It'll be fine. We're going there. It's all a matter of us raising in consciousness. End of story. Nothing else is going to save us. No war, no this, no happy thinking, no person, no president. It's absolute nonsense. is going to change anything. Anyone knows, because they just don't live long. When the ones that really are going to, if they're going to really change something, they don't get into power and they don't live long. If they do, oopsie, he had a heart attack or something, whatever. This is really how it works, actually. So anyone believing that there's a president in power that's going to change the world, save us, you are delusional, because they wouldn't be in there. And, there we are. Mr. Kennedy's an example. Many others, this doesn't work. Inside jobs, they don't get into power either. So it's us that change things. This is even prophesized. Us, we are the people we're waiting for. We just need to wake up and raise our consciousness. Look at ourselves. Stop supporting the border story, the religious wars, the communist war, the whatever nonsense. Stop supporting fake food, legislation, which is, all kinds of things. But it's money. Here's something random. We're just talking nonsense. Here's something which is now, take note, it's happening in your country. The major financial institutions, right, and corporations like BlackRock have opened they've got subsidiaries. They own everything. Like they say, 7 corporations own everything in the world, pretty much, and your governments in their pockets. So you've got the housing market at the moment. All of a sudden, if you notice in your countries, many countries, not into this one, and across your country, all of a sudden there's a massive shortage of houses to rent. And the properties to buy, the prices have doubled in a year. Why? Institutions, which have always done, financial institutions, investment companies, and so, especially, they come out of England, most of them. They come from the headquarters, which is your city of London, which is like the Vatican. They have now started these institutions, and all their offshore accounts and their, tax havens are all based out of there anyway. So they've started now buying up. So these massive corporations are buying up single-family homes. They didn't buy up normal homes before. They bought commercial properties, developments, whole buildings, big things. Now, your house, like a 3-bedroom house, they're buying up houses. They're buying up the market. In America, massively. In England, massively. Other people are saying they're noticing it, and you can research it. NGOs have researched it. So these companies, what they've done is gone into the market. Estate agents, this is greed. It's coming. No one can do anything if we don't play along with it. But every individual. So as long as we've got individuals on a lower state of consciousness, which are greed, myself, I, the whole thing, and not in line with integrity, all they're looking at is the dollars, we're going to keep, it's easy to bribe, right? Or just to get your way, which is still happening. So what they're doing is, what they have been doing, because my daughter wants to buy a house, massive problem. In this last year, the prices have doubled. There's a massive shortage. People can't even find places to rent, because if you're a landlord, all of a sudden, wow, I bought my house for 200. I can sell my house for 500 now. Shit, I'm going to sell it, because you just think of the money. But then you try and buy one. Again, you're being stupid. So what people are doing is greedy. They're selling their houses because they want to make a big profit now. Who knows? Estate agents are not going to say no, because you and your maybe first time, you the young couple looking for a place to buy, they don't care if you can't afford the market or whatever else. You've got companies saying, right, we'll buy up anything you get in your books. Let us know if you've got new houses. They get new houses in their books. The estate agent knows this financial institution or whatever, business person, company, whatever they're posing as, is saying to them, well, any new stuff, I'm happy. I'm on the market looking for properties. I'm not too fussed. And they are offering more than 30% the value. So if your house is, say, 70%, your house is, say, let's just say, your house is valued or was valued at, say, 70,000. These companies will go in, no problem, and buy it at 90,000. Way over market value. They've been doing that. This is why they shot the price up. They're buying things way above market value, so they push the price of the market out. That's why the housing price goes. Because when you are selling properties, your properties say, this is how I'd value. I used to do this, and I know this. So, how you work out the property price. Say my area, my house. I sell my house. Most of the houses are worth 100 and 150,000, but I sell my house at 200,000. I'm now pushing the price up in my street, and our neighbor, he sells his house 222. He wants more, and he gets it. Now that sets the value. So your properties in your area and your street are now going to be valued at 200, 250,000. So this is what they're doing. They have bumped because they're paying far more than they were valued. They actually were. So they've pushed. So all the housing prices have shot up to the roof. So the average person and young person, whoever, first can't afford to buy a home. And they are buying up, I mean, not one house, they're buying up all. So they are going in and they're flattening towns and things, and they're doing it. I'm serious. It's massive. It's horrendous. Why? Because then you can manipulate, like you can manipulate Forex, like you can, the diamond price. This is how the diamond price has been manipulated for decades and centuries. They've kept the monopoly in the price of diamonds up because they buy everything that's black market, all the diamonds over there, whatever else. They buy them up, and they have vaults. There's no shortage of diamonds. They should be cheap. They are not a unique, special, fancy anything. There are diamonds out your yin-yang, and even in space and other planets. Diamonds actually fall out. They've even discovered diamonds like float around in the sky up there. So diamonds are in abundance on this planet, but why are they so expensive? Why? Because De Beers and those few that have shares in it will lose, so they don't flood the market. So they keep, it's like they keep a shortage, put it that way, supply and demand. They make sure there's always a shortage, so there's a demand. But this is what they're doing, investment companies are doing this in the housing market now. They're buying up all family homes. Now you've got to ask yourself, why? Are they going to manipulate the prices? So rental prices will be a flat, like can you imagine, like minimum wage. They can control. So all rentals, and I've noticed that actually, even in areas are leveling up. They're going to make all rentals, like rentals 2-bedroom will be this price. That will be a standard lease agreements, all kinds of nonsense, which don't be, whatever. They're up to something. But people allow it. You have to sell your house. The estate agents has to I don't care if it's my neighborhood and, whatever about the people down there that, anything. I'm going to make a lot of money, so I'm just going to do it. We've all done it. We worked in companies where people, look the other way, I don't really like it, but it's my job, we all do that. It's just, hey, I've got to pay the bills. This is how we've lived, people. We've not stood in integrity. We've looked the other way because why? It was easier, you see. But then the bigger consequences of that, you've got a world like that. Then you moan, oh my gosh, but the governments are corrupt. Oh, there's a few. No, people. Everybody. It's a reflection. What is going on in the micro, say the government or the top levels? People moan about the 1%. It's a reflection of the 99%. That's all it is. There's corruption, there's greed, there's all of this in our leaders. It's because it's held within us, or we wouldn't have even voted them in. No integrity. Oh, it doesn't matter, we're taught just to look the other way, don't rock the boat. It's just a job. It's not your problem. And there we are. We didn't think about the environment, about this, about, the Joneses, about him. It doesn't matter. He could lose his job. I'm not going to stand up for him because it's my job. We were taught, to aim for the stars and compete with each other, and you're nobody if you don't have this, and you've got to. There we are, the same. We've been nipped. That's it. And it could only have come with a support of us. We voted people too in. You're like, what? There we are. We must do the work, all right? We are the actual power. We have the power. We've got to do our inner work, people, and we have got an amazing future. If we do our inner work and we stand in integrity, we raise in consciousness, and we're not doing it we're doing it from a higher perspective and for the broader picture, not for ourselves, not for if we know something and it resonates with you, right? When something is not right, you're going along with the job when it's like, and you're looking the other way when you know it bugs you. On a little level, it's like, you don't feel comfortable with it, but you do it. There we are. No, that's not the case. That's what you've been taught. You know what's wrong is wrong, right is wrong. You know it doesn't resonate with you. Absolutely. That's what but it's a grey area. No. That's how we've said, because it's easy. You see, if you say it's grey, but that's a lawyer. That's a lawyer telling you. Let's play over there. We can wangle this way to make it look good. No. You can sell shit, but still shit. That's as simple as that, people. Shit is shit. You can dress it up, you can put vanilla on it, and you can sell it as a book, but it's shit. End story, and it is. There we are. So it's how much are you willing to lie to yourself? And this is what we've all done. We've all done it. It's just a white lie. How many of you told a white lie? Oh, yes. Everybody, I bet you. Why? Oh, it's because we justify it to ourselves. It's easier. It's kind of, well, we're not going to do any harm. There we are, you see. You're selling it to yourself. There we are. It's easy. No, we got to start standing in it, you know what I mean? Yeah. Anyway, my phone's been flat for a while, lovely people. So I suppose I should get going. It's going to die on me. Not many questions, people. Anyone got any questions you want to ask? Yeah, your values. So we got to stand in line with our unique values. This is what somebody asked the other day, which is said, I can't answer for you. He said to me, should I be selling this or should I be selling that? And I was not for me to answer you. Because you've got to be in tune, depending on your level of consciousness, what your rights are wrong. You've got certain morals and values, and they're different from everybody. But you've got to listen to your heart. In your heart, do you feel a bit of guilt, a bit of, ooh, it's kind of, but you're trying to just, then you know it's not. Don't do it. Don't do it. There we are. But you've got to, your alignment, be in alignment with yourself. If you've got a thing, don't do it then. That's it. You know when you've done it. Okay. Or you can try go against who you are. It doesn't work. You can try and think, oh, I can live with it. It won't really bother me. But it's like a little bit of, the torture. Here's an example. If you want to torture someone, I think the Japanese did it. They used to drop water, I think, on the person's head. And eventually, look at a rock. It actually makes a hole in a rock, right, the water. Now, I think this was a Japanese torture or something. I'm not joking. This is a way of torture, seriously. Where they lie, I think it was a dark cell, and there's constant drip. There's a constant drip of water on the person's head. It makes them go insane, for one. Now, this is the same thing. Now, this is like you. If you are not in alignment, right? And you're living with, say it's a boyfriend or whatever it is, right? You're doing something, you're living with something, the boyfriend, or putting up with something that you know is not right. You're trying to look the other way, but, really it's not, and it niggles at you. It's like a little niggle. That niggle is like that drop of water. It's not going to go away. All right. When you are not in an alignment, you're trying to do something you shouldn't be, it's going to eventually come to a breaking point where you're going to walk away, or it's going to fall flat because you are not in resonance and alignment with it. See? And that's what happens. It won't last. It's not going to work out. And we must stop doing things like that. And then we wonder why, we're unhappy, or we lose that job, or things don't work out, or you end up with a disease and illness. People often do that. They'll end up with cancer. They'll just bite their lip and live with it. They'll live miserable. They'll be unhappy, really unhappy most of their life, or be with someone they absolutely hate, self-inflicted, and then they end up with cancer and they can't understand why. You're out of alignment. See? Well, it depends. I don't know, because we're all different. So it depends how you get them and what they're channeled through, yeah. The information, it's frequency, resonance, it's information. You see, a lot of it's our past, it's your past self, your past life. It's a past you. Like, people speak light language. You can resonate or actually understand some of it. Some people's light language, it's like my hair stands up. It's like my soul knows exactly what they're saying, because you were either part of that clan or Lemuria, wherever it was, or group. You understand. There's different. They're not light language. It's languages we spoke maybe decades, centuries, thousands of years ago. That's all it is. It's coming back. We call it light language, but it's actually a language we actually spoke. And you know it. When you listen to some of them, some people have speaking it. Some I know, like, it was like, holy shit, you know exactly what's going on your solar steps, and others you're not really. So it was, baby, a civilization, a generation, a this and that, whatever, that you weren't on or you weren't, involved in. But light codes, it's information. That's all it is. It's information. Yeah, it's coming in. It's like your frequencies and resonance. This is what's causing upgrades in our physical vessel. Is the sun, the energy. We basically are energy. That's all we consist of in science, factually. are atoms, are energy. So these frequencies, why do you think it's affecting us? The solar radiation and flares and whatever else that are coming into the planet that are causing earthquakes and whatever else, and causing all this purging and healing and what other nonsense in you, raising in consciousness, your DNA, your physical vessels changing. It is actually changing. It's holding more light, higher vibration and frequency. Yeah. Now it's the sun, because that higher frequency light vibration is coming in from the sun. So our planet at the moment is being hit by a much higher, it's causing massive storms as well. It's causing a higher frequency of light, whether it's coming in the form of solar radiation, solar winds, it's energy, that you can't see. Well, through your third eye you can. That's light. This is coming into the planet. And it's affecting our physical vessel big time, as you notice. You're doing healing, purging, clearing, going up. You're getting upgrades. Your physical body's, changing, adapting, the whole thing. Everything. Yeah. Everything. Everything. If our body's energy will be affected by other energies, frequencies and vibrations, and this is what they are. And this is why I was saying, I made that video on my page about you can feel your cells being vibrated. Oh, you sure can. You feel it hitting the body. Yeah, if you tap into it too. Yeah, well, she's got stuff to hang on to. And whatever you're seeing is, remember, if whatever upsets you, if your daughter upsets you, it's a projection. It's a reflection of what problems you have. So if you see she's being unreasonable or whatever else, then possibly so are you. You know what I mean? You're seeing that is an unreasonable side in you. It's a reflection. If she triggers you, upsets you, all right, if she's upsetting you or making you angry or whatever else, you say, oh, some people often say, oh, that one's nothing, oopsie. All you've done is showing, is reflecting what's in you. If she's just having a wobble and you are seeing that and you're just holding compassion and love and not getting upset, that's fine. You are seeing that you just be understanding that our loved ones are going to go through a wobble. I mean, my daughter had some wobbles and used to come in here and, hi, Mom, and then about 2 minutes, she's shouting and swearing at me, marching off at the door, slams the door, because she's having I know she's going through. So I come here, I don't know what's wrong, I'm going through this and that, and then she would take it out of me. I'd trigger her big time, and she's off, and then she'd be back 2 days later again, and all fine, sorry about that, and the next minute, whoop, again. I just laughed. She walked at the door, and I laugh in a way, because I just say, okay, whoopsie, she's really having a bad time. And if you try and, so we've just got to step back and allow people their space to go through what they need to do. But it's, if we are like, something, then we got to look, what are we pushing out there? Because that's within us, okay? That's our problem. If we're angry or upset or feeling anything, whatever, is stuff we need to let go or heal or... Yes, I think it's changing. This is what it is. It's change. We're going to see change. Change is in the air for the planet and all of us. So prepare yourselves, people. Big change. I think I channeled that last year as well. There's big change coming. Whoa, on the planet in a major way. Massive shift as well. Massive raise in consciousness. Much more of us are going to raise in consciousness. And what you've got to forget is not everyone's going to wake up spiritually, right? But their consciousness is going to raise. Doesn't mean they're going to be willingly tapping in. They're only listening to the innate or they maybe what you call gut instinct before you wake up. It doesn't mean they're all going to be starting to channel and see and visions and tapping in and getting their psychic abilities and seeing aliens and all this. Not necessarily, no. Because maybe their souls did not choose to experience that or they want to still stay, but they are raising in consciousness, absolutely, okay. And they're coming in with a much higher level of even the ones that don't want to, they're resisting it, are going to leave the planet. They're going to die that way. But when they're reborn, they will not be coming back so stuck in their ways, in the old ways, old energy and old not willing to change and not being flexible. So there is big change coming on for the collective and there's change in all our lives. And this is why we've been pushed now, this energy, like I said at the beginning of my video, is targeting us personally. Personal change, healing, pushing, whatever's holding you back, okay, it's for us to let go. Thank you. It's gone all over. This life has gone in all kinds of directions. 3D, there, up, down. It's been random. It's a random, I'm listening, I'm also watching people's questions and things. It's gone all over the damn show, this life. It's not one thing. But it's lovely to catch up. Yeah, it's lovely to catch up with everybody. It's really lovely. I miss it. I miss seeing it. That's why I say I'm off for 4 days, but I missed, interacting with you guys. I miss speaking to you. I miss the comments and, seeing what's going on out there, finding out, what's going on, what's happening in the collective, and what people, need. Sometimes, it might be one person that needs something. It's that just one thing you say is that, wow point for them, or get some looking or whatever they need. That's what we're here for. We're all here for something. Oh, thanks, Tara. It's been a fair... Some of you guys, please join me on my lives. But, what I normally get is a complete random stranger who wants to talk, but they don't want to talk. They just see a live, let me just see if I can join them, and then they'll just stand there and they look at you, or they have nothing to say. They don't want to ask questions or contribute or join or nothing. It blows my mind. On a green, I have none. We can all have our own, illusions or whatever we want to do, play, be, anything. We've been many other things that aren't human, and so yeah, anything's possible. Think about this. We are a new planet. Really new planet. We're playing human, not for not. Humans have been around sort of 200,000 years, or this version of us, right? Have been around for about 200,000 years, and you can tap in, and I verified that. And then I saw it on science, I verified it. But that's when we this newer version of the gene editing happened about 200,000 years ago, when they joined 3 and 4. They fused the 3 and 4. Anyway, yeah. This is the version of humans that we are. And there were some other strange versions of us running around the planet. And if those of you that have gone back into the past, hi. We'll see. Have seen we've had some interesting life on this planet. We've been some interesting half human, all kinds of bloody beings have walked on this planet. But we've been many other things. So a lot of people have seen things like unicorns, dragons, this, that, whatever. I absolutely don't doubt anything that anyone sees or visions or see. Because first of all, you're a manifestor. You can create whatever you bloody want anyway. But yeah, absolutely. We are one version. We've been so many things. So, we've manifested and created all kinds of beings and planets to live on. And, oh, wow. Just go back into past life regressions and listen to some of the sessions as a collective and see yours. And then you can see, wow, yeah, absolutely. In that level of consciousness. Remember, also, we manipulated. We were genetically engineering humans. Well, not we, but the other higher intelligence things. So they created some... They experimented. I think Atlantis was some of those not so good experiments they shouldn't have been doing, where we started making these, and the Catholic Church has got them documented. If you go to some of their, priests in the say early 1400s, whatever, 1100s, 10, whatever, going even the 1100s, not that long ago, were documenting. That they still had half human, half dog beings running around, humans without faces. So there were some genetic experiments done on this planet where there were all kinds of humans that had no face. I don't know how they breathed, but anyway, they didn't have a face, a head. They were weird. Headless humans, a dog face, humans with half the heads and that's actually documented still. But the church actually got rid of, they killed a lot of them. Yeah, anyway. We had giants, we've had all kinds of weird shit. So absolutely fairies, unicorns, this, that, many people, and there's physical evidence of them, skeletons and mummies and mummified beings. So yeah, anything is possible, hey? Oh, they had a much higher, and they could manifest too. So there we are. And that was only on this planet. Can you imagine what we've done, other species, which we've dropped into, and some people have channeled and, communicated with, right? The aliens, this, that. I don't doubt any of it. I also don't take on. I don't latch on as my truth. But so if you're open to all possibilities, all information, that's fine, because then you will see you're not blocking anything coming in, because you're not saying, oh, I don't buy that, or I absolutely believe that. Why? Because somebody else told you this alien looks like that. No, have you seen it for yourself? See, just be, okay, interesting. It's a possibility, something out there, it's out there, but is it yours? Is it your belief or not? Don't try and be careful of taking on somebody else's belief. But I don't also knock it. So I think that's interesting. That's their choice or their manifestation or their beliefs. I don't always, though, choose to take everything on as mine. I'd rather just be open to all possibilities and timelines, because I absolutely believe, I think what's out there is mind-blowing. I mean, and if everything happens in the now, there is no only present. All these lives and past lives and planets and other beings all existing right now. It's only the now. So you're playing this, and you're playing a Palladian, and you're playing a unicorn, and who knows what the heck you're playing. I've been a merman and weird stuff. Sorry. I've been some weird things. We all have. That's what I'm saying. So if you're the manifester and creator of your own reality, maybe if you want to say it's holographic or not, sky's the limit, people. And as a collective, we've done some interesting shit. I can just imagine. As source energy, we've created planets and all kinds of weird beings. And there still are other life. We're not the only life out there. As a lot of you will know, we sure as hell aren't the only, at the current time, in physical as well, what we will really interact with. The only beings, life form in a physical that we can, some can move in and out of a physical. They don't stay in a physical. They don't need to. Yeah, but you got to go and experience it for yourself. Go and experience it for yourself. Freaking awesome. And just know that anything's possible. But don't believe, because there's a lot of manipulation, especially in that movement. There's a huge amount of false information and manipulation. They're trying to, same thing, they're trying to control the narrative. And they're telling you there's this species of aliens, and this is what they look like, and there's that, and this is what they ship. Not necessarily. And people are absolutely buying it because somebody is telling them, because they've got a channel that this alien does this, and these are good, and these are bad, and they look like this, and they come from that planet, and this is their spaceship. So what do? It's like being in school. Okay, he's true. So these aliens are good, and they look like that. And why? Have you communicated with them? Have you been there? Have you seen them? And a lot of the times there's conflicting things. People have said that, and other people have bumped into those beings, and their ships don't look like that. You see? So we've got to be careful. Understand we're manifested, and we believe, and also be careful that we're not taking on, we're being fed. Okay, it's like Earth. Oh, those are the good guys, and those are the bad guys, and this is whatever. That's rather not. Just stay neutral. Just be in the now and don't take any side, or especially not judgment. Judgment and sides. And resonate. Okay. Some of you will, because some of you played those lives in other timelines. You've played whatever being, and those were your enemies in that timeline. This is complicating, but yeah. So now you will dislike them because you recall bad, Akash. Those were your enemies, but they're not your enemies anymore. You're now playing human, and so are they. A lot of these people don't realize, They're not your enemy anymore. There was a previous timeline, whatever you want to call it. Yeah. Yes. Absolutely, yeah. And then you sharing with other people. You're talking with others, and you're sharing your stories, or you're doing, having similar things with them. You'll be drawn to do it. People you'll find you've had different lives with as well. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I couldn't have imagined some of the things I saw when I started doing my meditations. And I had no expectations. I had no clue what was out there, what I would see. So I just sat in meditation, no intention. I would literally sit and just go into that phase, and with no thought, no intention, nothing, just open to say, oh, let me see what they're going to show me. Okay, show me what you want me to see. And poof, I was gone. And I'd go a lot, like, wow, I was out of my body so much at one stage. I could sit in my chair for 2 minutes and on a high frequency, and I'd be sitting there, and all I have to do is close my eyes, and next minute I'm gone. And I couldn't have even made up the stuff I saw. I mean, I couldn't have possibly imagined it. I've never seen it in movies. So yeah, well, wow. It's a previous dream, manifestation, illusion, a dimension, whatever your beliefs and thoughts are, right? But it exists to you. It did exist to you, or does, in your quantum, or it's there. Wow, interesting. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely mind blowing. And you go back in time, into the future, into other planets, other. And it's not something so it's not, you can't make it up because you did, otherwise you would have had the pre thought and expecting something. Nothing. I mean, you can just wake up. I went through, you wake up and go through a wormhole, a black hole, you're on another planet, other ships, you don't know who the frick these people are. What beings, what planet, why are they even there? Would they want anything? Absolutely mind blowing if you're just open to, you not have no expectations. You don't know what. It's a learn. Think of it as a constant learning curve. And then you're curious, so you're focusing on history. Well, then you'll be all over the bloody planet and going into the history. But when you lose interest and you realize it's not important because of the now, but in the beginning you start, I want to know. So history in your minds, and then you start going, you'll go back into a lot of our history. You'll time travel a lot of our history, and then you'll be focusing on the alien, or you'll be bumping, and you'll go through phases, as I said, the alien level, and where and that's all you think about, and all you're wanting to. So that's all you're going to be seeing and traveling, and you'll go plenty. You'll experience plenty of ET sort of things, but if you stop, once you've sort of your curiosity, maybe interested, you've kind of overdone it now. You'll just sit. Now I'm a human now. I'm living now. Maybe you should be focusing more on the now than, where you are now is here. You're not on that planet and you're not in that life. But you want to go through that in the beginning. You want to see and try and whatever. Yeah. But meanwhile, you've got to live. You came here now to play this now. And we've got to remember that. We've got to keep coming back to now. Because it's not important about what did and I was and that happened and, whatever. Get through that. And focus on living. Absolutely. Because that's why you're here. Absolutely here for. Live. Okay. To live. People think that it's purpose. No, your purpose is to live. You wake up. What is enjoying living? What's around you? Be alive. Enjoy just being alive is actually the experience. We forget, you see. We don't take notice of the bird and of the grass and of the sunset and the star and, eat. All the things that you take for granted every day. You do all the time. One day it's not going to be there. The last breath is going to come and then there's no more breathing. You take it for granted. You breathe automatically. There's no more, taste of coffee. That last coffee is going to be a last coffee. The last bird, the last sunset, the last laughter, the last hug. See, people? So while we're all busy running around looking at aliens and going to that planet and visiting this, it's all fun. We never know. We're not now. We're living in another. We're here playing human, but we're trying to live another life. We're spending all our time somewhere else, and not in the body and in this now. That's a form of escapism, because now we're escaping. We want to play Palladian and play this and that, but we're actually in a human body playing now. And we came here to experience the shift. So we should be focusing on the new earth and the shift and being now in this body, in this life, then worrying about another planet, another being. And I was an Octurian and I am now. I was in Peru. We've all been there. Of course we were. All these things. Absolutely. But maybe in the beginning, for your soul, when you wake up, is you need to maybe want to know. But so you will go back through these past lives and future, and you'll get to know a bit more about you. Wow, okay, I'm not just this little, I've done lots. It's more for you to show that you're capable of lots as well, and that you're eternal, you see. All right, this was a very long live, people. Rambling on. Love you all. Thank you for joining, whoever's joined. Thank you for joining, and I hope next time we share a lot more, and I want to do lives actually with other people, so people want to hear stories, and we'll share our stories, okay, about some of our lives and other shit we've done, experiences, and with other beings and things. So there's many I'd like to do, because people want to hear your stories. I've got lots in this life alone, just never mind in 3D, but I don't like focusing on the negative too much. You don't want to go into the past and trauma because it doesn't serve anybody. But it does some people that really need to know you can overcome what happened to you. You can overcome it. All right, absolutely. Don't take a label that a doctor or someone gives you. They say, I've got bipolar. Oh, no, and that's it, I'm screwed. No, you're not. You can absolutely overcome and cure anything because you are only energy. All right. This is a new breakthrough, which we didn't know. We can cure and overcome any illness, anything that happened to you, any past, any belief, any hurt, any trauma, anything. All right. Illness even. All right. There we are. Anyway, tap into yourselves. That's what I'm doing. And this week I'm very busy going into what I want to do. You know, like pay bill-wise, I mean. I haven't a freaking clue. So I'm trying to find, you've got an idea, but then you're trying to, is this really, would I be happy? Does it resonate with me, you see? That's important. Because if it doesn't, I'm absolutely wasting my time, and there's no ways in hell it's going to work, and I'll go there, or I'll just have a lesson and say, okay, that wasn't good, try again. So do you want do you want to go the shortcut, or do you want to learn, the lots of bumps and what you don't want? I don't think so. I kind of, yeah. If you know what you don't want, you're really halfway there. What don't you like? Okay, so then that's already halfway. Now you just got to find out what you want by dropping into the heart, quiet the mind, and let that flow. Okay, let your source or your higher self flow the ideas or feeling, and then you'll resonate. When that feeling, when you're like, wow, that idea gets you going and floats your boat and gets you excited, happy, your heart just lights up, bingo. Focus on that, go for that, and put all your thing on that. Anyway, we'll go into manifestation. All right, we'll do that thing. There's a live I want to line up. Then we can also explain what it feels like when you've done it and haven't, and it hasn't worked out. All right, guys, have a good morning, evening, wherever you are, day. Thank you for joining me. I love you all. Be patient, be kind.